What up, boxing fans? You know who it is. Frank Beasy, Frank Bay. Impromptu boxing drop, middle of the summer. Yeah, man, it's the doldrums of summer. Things are slow. I think it's just baseball on. No football, no basketball, and no boxing. Looks like no fans of boxing. So last night was the Jake Paul show. Not sure if you guys were. What's up, Sergeant? Thank you for dropping by. Yeah, man, it's been a minute. It's been a minute. It's summertime, man. Trying to get out, do a couple things. But just wanted to talk some boxing. Seeing the bad news. It looks like Lomachenko and Steak Davis are not going to fight. Lomachenko released a statement saying that his heart's not in it, and we've seen that right after the Davina Hanky fight. Excuse me, in which many of us thought he was robbed. He was in tears, and people made fun of him and said, that Devin Haney beat him and was a great win. And we seen it. We seen Lomachenko didn't look too good. It didn't look like his heart was in it. And we questioned him. And you know what? He's on the older side, right? So I seen it, and I was disappointed. But and then Jake Paul last night. I don't know if you guys watched Jake Paul, Mike Perry. But boxing's kind of slow right now. I think the only fight we have to look forward to is Clarissa Shields. And then on August 3rd, it's Terrence Crawford versus Israel Madrimov. I don't know how you guys feel about that, but did anybody buy the Jake Paul fight? I'm not. You know what, man? It was a trash fight. I mean, I'm watching this and I'm like, is Jake Paul any good? And I'm like, he's okay. It's weird. It's like he looks okay against novices. Now this guy Mike Perry, I guess he was a bare knuckle boxer, and I seen him. And here's the thing, man, these guys can't fight. They fight like schoolyard kids. I mean, no punching power, no foot placement. I mean, it's just kind of bad to watch. And on the undercard, Amanda Serrano versus nobody. The only highlight, who Jake Paul sucks. Yeah, Jakey Paul. You know what, man? He's making money hand over fist. I mean, you know what, man? Aside from the boxing, he's making a shit ton of money with these gimmick fights, and that's the crazy thing. And I mean, people see him, and family and friends are like, I can't stand that guy, I hate him. And I'm like the same way, I can't stand it. But at the same time, I'm like, you know what, man? It's a hustle. He figured out a hustle. He's hustling ignorant people, boxing fans, and he's making money. He's staying in the headlines. He's getting a lot of press over it, and you can't knock the hustle. But at the same time, he's calling out Mike Tyson and I guess the Pereira, the UFC champ. Now I highly doubt the Mike Tyson. Yo, salute pounds, thank you. Yeah, the H2O guy got knocked out, and that was what I really wanted to talk about. That was the only highlight of the card. He was fighting Batty. I don't know if he was an Indian guy, a Prince Nassim Hamed knockoff stepchild or something, and he was getting his ass beat. It was actually supposed to be H2O Sylvie or something like that versus Floyd Schofield, but because the Mike Tyson card fell through, they pulled that fight. I don't know if Floyd Schofield's gonna come back, but H2O. Yeah, he got bodied, man. That was like that probably will be knockout of the year. And that's the crazy thing about boxing is they hype these guys up. Oh my God, he looks so athletic. He's look how he moves, and it's a master class. And it's like, bro, you never know with these guys until they get chin checked. And I mean, who was bodied? This guy was like some undefeated prospect. He's a little older in Canada, and then he just, I don't know, out of nowhere, I'm like doing stuff in between. I'm like, oh, he's gonna, I'm looking for some excitement. I'm like, I mean, he's doing all these tricky moves, Sylvan. And I'm like, there's no excitement. So I'm doing things and I see him flattened out. I'm like, oh shit. And it was just a simple uppercut and a straight right hand. Apparently they try to pull out clauses on Floyd, so he pulled out. Yeah, I don't know. You know what, man? These guys are not gonna risk it for a kind of a weak card. They need H2O was a club fighter in the area. Yeah, you know what? But it's the razzle dazzle. You know how they move, they juke and jive, and he's throwing these like
crazy punches, and he's moving his head and he's doing all this athletic shit. So, it gives the appearance of like, oh, he's an elite boxer. And he really was a prospect. But they were really hyping him up. Um, but that guy just put together a right hand. Well, no, what happened is he had switched stances, and I guess Gabe Rosado was salute Gloctavius. Thank you. Um, so yeah, man, thank you guys for joining us. It's just a quick live. I just wanted to jump in, talk about what I seen. It's been a while. It's really dead right now, man. There's really nothing going on. So I wanted to talk about it, which is kind of crazy, right? Uh, Boxing's been dead this year, man. The only thing that happened was Ryan Garcia and Devin Haney, and even that people weren't too excited about, and I guess it didn't do too well. And I kind of missed all the Ryan drama. He failed, he completed guilty or something, took a suspension. And then, he's dropping N-bombs and everybody's outraged. And then Stank Davis looks spectacular, and now he's pound for pound. They said he's top 5. And then he's going to fight Vasily Lomachenko. So, you get all the hypesters and the hipsters and the cucks, and they all come out. And it looks like it's going to be something. But I always said Lomachenko should never go in that direction. But what should we talk about, man? There's really nothing going on. And Canelo Alvarez, man, I know we love Canelo, but, man, what's there really to talk about? Salute Eric Gomez. Yeah, thank you. What's there really to talk about, man? There's no news from David Benavidez. Is anybody hyped for AJ versus Dubois? I'm sorry, I'm not. It's pay-per-view. I guess there's some decent cards on the undercard, but man, October's better be B-ball. If that happens, dude, there's just nothing. And Crawford Madrimov, look, man, I'm not buying that shit either. The thing about it is you got to give to get. Right? They want me to buy Dubois, Joshua. They want me to buy Stank Davis. They want me to buy Crawford. It's like, but they ain't giving us nothing. Y'all supposed to buy Crawford, and I haven't seen him in a year. And then what did he do before that? He was out another year and a half. Crawford has done absolutely nothing, and they want me to fork out, $100 for a guy I've never even seen, Madrimov. Okay, the undercard, but is there really any names? Ryo might get slipped early. That should be a good one. But Andy Ruiz, I haven't seen him. Gerald Miller's failed like 4 drug tests. He's been suspended. I guess David Morrell versus a no-name. You know what, man? But that's the thing is like, look, man, they want us to pay for these fights, but they're not giving us nothing. They're literally giving us dick. I'm sorry, that's just the reality. They're giving us dick, and they want us to keep paying and keep paying and keep paying. And then, like I doubt Tank Davis if he doesn't get what, Sarge? Yeah, the card is names, but who really knows those names? Look, they put it in LA because they got Pitbull. Pitbull sells maybe 1,000 tickets on his own. I'm just saying, man. Boxing, it's just I really feel like it's slipping. And Thank you. Hit the like. Thank you. Nah, boxing's really slipping. The only good fight is Virgil and Bokacek or something like that. Pounds, what are your thoughts? Imagine saying spark Virgil and take him was a normal boxer in a recent interview. I'm sorry. Crawford finna be 4-time undisputed, man. Yeah, Gloctavius. I don't know, man. They're hyping him up. He wants Canelo. What is my thoughts on Madrimov saying he sparred Virgil and to him he was a normal? Yeah, well, they're all gonna say that, right? But after the fight, they always say, "Oh, he was such a challenge. He was great." You know what? Look, Madrimov is really an unknown. We really don't know. And to me, I try to look at both sides: the business of boxing and the sport of boxing. And right now, both are letting us down. You know what I'm saying? The big news, the big letdown was seeing Lomachenko versus Tank Davis. And but if you hear my earlier rants and raves and the things I said before, I said that Lomachenko shouldn't give Gervonta the time of day. I wasn't gonna be mad if he didn't fight Gervonta. Because here's the thing, man, these guys, the Gervontas, the Stank Davises, the Keishans, man, they all wanna make a name off beating the older fighter. You know what I'm saying? And just like I really haven't been keeping up. It's summertime, man. So I'm doing more things, but boxing, it's just, I don't know, man. Sometimes I get hyped. I was kind of hyped for Haney and Garcia, and then it got me really hyped with Haney. Getting his ass kicked. So I was getting juice, and that now it just kind of let down. After Usyk Fury, it was like, man, how do you guys feel, man? I know you guys are big boxing fans, but are you guys feeling like me that it's just kind of meh? It's just like, there's just nothing to sink my teeth in. Even Canelo, I want Benavidez, but it looks like Benavidez is injured. He's not going to be ready. Where are we going, man? What's really going on? BDA, both Stevenson and Tank were chasing a 36-year-old instead of fighting one another. The state of the light division. Yeah, you know what? I guess probably not a boxing fan, but what I was saying is I didn't want Loma to give Stank Davis the time of day. I said, look, let Loma. You know what I was thinking last night, and that's what I really wanted to say. I said, look, man. Excuse me. Hold on. Excuse me. Let the other guys unify, because if remember when Loma was wanted, they said Loma's goal was always undisputed, right? So he had to go get the belt from, I don't know if it was Linares. It's so long ago, during that 18 to like 21 thing. And then it's called doing the heavy work, right? Like Canelo had to go get 4 belts. Haney got gifted by just having to beat one guy. So Loma and Tio basically unified for undisputed. ESPN promoted as undisputed. Then it comes out it really wasn't, the fiasco. But, Loma and Tio did the heavy work. They both had to go through each other. And these guys like Tank, Shakira, they want Loma to do the heavy lifting again. So he has to go beat Baranchik. He has to go beat Cambozo. Well, they get to sit back and wait for these guys to do the heavy lifting. So I'm with Loma. Look, man, let William go get a belt from Baranchik. Let William go get a belt from Baranchik. And then have Stank Davis fight Shakira. And then have that winner face William Zepeda, vice versa, and Loma against them in the middle of next summer. You know what I'm saying? Like, let's see these young, and these guys are young. You know what I'm saying? If Crawford can sit out being old, they give him the excuse. Even Canelo could sit on the sideline. He's old. But these guys, Benavidez, Tank Davis, Boots Ennis, man, they need to be fighting every other month. Call me selfish. But if you want me to buy the fight, you got to give me something. I'm watching old replays of David Benavidez. And what's he doing? Yeah, and this is what I'm talking about, man. It's like, I just... me I'm going to drop the link if anybody wants to hop on. Me as a boxing fan, I want to see fights. I want to see people come in and put it all on the line. The best we got right now, excuse me, man. I dropped the link if anybody wants to hop on and speak your mind. We're in kind of a dead season right now for boxing. Not much going on. Although they're still selling us fights. There's not much going on, but they're still trying to shove pay-per-views down our throat. Now, I think better be a B-ball as a pay-per-view. And really, I know it's a great fight. Like, we're going to talk about it. It's a great fight. But what have those guys done to earn our pay-per-view bucks? Really? What have they done? Now, I know you're going to go to other channels, hear different voices. But me, I'm really questioning it. That's what I'm saying. What has Bud Crawford done to earn my pay-per-view dollar? You see what I'm saying? Like Jake Paul, he's got his own demographic. He sells to particular non-boxing fans, and they label it boxing. Salute everybody, man. Gomez, BDA, Octavius, Pounds. Few but strong. That's how I like to do it, man. It's been a while. But I just wanted to rant and rave about Jake Paul and the bad news about Vasily Lomachenko. But you know what? I advised Vasily, if I had different video clips and shorts, and I said, you know what, man, if I'm Vasily, make those guys do the heavy lifting. Make those guys go out and fight for a year or two. You know what I'm saying? Like, these guys want it easy. You got guys like Keyshawn Davis. He's calling out T.O. I guess Shakira's calling out Ryan, but they don't want to do the heavy lifting. Ryan had to go through Luke Campbell, Tank Davis, and Devin Haney to get to where he's at. And then Shakira wants to just come over and get a free ride, get an easy ride, And that's one thing, people don't understand about Canelo Alvarez, but in the whole David Benavidez, that's kind of what he was alluding to. These guys Andrade, that's the main culprit. I'm actually watching Andrade and Benavidez, and Andrade quit. But is it uh Andrade was just riding Canelo's coattail for like 4 years. Thank you, Technique. I dropped the link if anybody wants to hop on and to give their boxing take. Are you happy? Are you upset? Are you excited for Madrimov, Crawford? Are you looking forward to Jake Paul and Mike Tyson? I want to hear the people, man. This is what I do it for. I just come on to say, my 2 cents, and love it or hate it. Frank Bay is gonna say his sense. A lot, and nothing has happened. Tank Davis, I guess, is a great pound for pound fighter. And what really pisses me off is you're gonna have all these Tank Davis channels and fans, the usual suspects, and they're gonna bash Vasily Lomachenko ducking. But what I don't understand is how can Vasily Lomachenko duck when he's, arguably took on the best competition as far as, not Tank Davis, Teofimo Lopez and Devin Haney, right? And also kind of I think he fought Jermaine Ortiz was a good fight. None of these guys want to face Jermaine Ortiz. He kind of stinks the joint out, but he's a tough out. So, and he fought Comey, he's fought the contenders and the up and comers. So Lomas did his work. He's an older guy, and these guys just want to feed on the older boxer. And it's kind of the same way with Boots Ennis, right? He's chasing Terrence Crawford. And you know what I was thinking about, man, when I was thinking about this guy, Boots Ennis, is they want to tell me nobody wants to fight him. But the reality is he's got about 30 fights, I say, and he's already like 27. So if he started fighting, I think about 18, I guess, where has he been for 10 years? That's what I'm thinking is like, why has he, okay, fine. The top guys don't want to fight him, but you're telling me he couldn't get a fight with even Mean Machines, years ago, like 3 or 4 years ago, as he's trying to make a name. Why has he literally just been fighting trash cans? And the same could be said about Virgil Ortiz, right? But Virgil Ortiz only has 19 fights. And I think he's 23, 24. So he's a little on the younger side. But I'm thinking about Boots Ennis is like, was Boots Ennis' strategy really just to sit and wait to feed on the remains of Earl Spence and Terrence Crawford when they look weak? Yeah, Loma's out the door already. And he should be. I mean, look, if Loma retires, he's arguably already Hall of Famer. He already fought Teofimo and Haney and arguably beat him. Now, I'm no Lomachenko fanboy. I'm no, hipster Lomachenko fan, but I give the guy credit for basically keeping the division alive. Like, if we take Lomachenko out of the equation, what would that division have been with Teofimo, Tank Davis, Lomachenko, and Ryan Garcia, and all these guys never have fought in 5 or 6 years? I mean, we always hear their names, but none of these guys have fought. The only guy that started to start get it going is Lomachenko. You know what I'm saying? That was because they knew Lomachenko was the smaller guy. Out of all those guys, Teofimo, Tank Davis, Ryan Garcia, Loma's probably obviously the weakest link just because of his size. He's outgunned. He's at a higher division than he should be, right? That robbery, Haney, yeah, it did. And they made fun of him, but he's the only guy stepping up. Again, I dropped the link if people want to speak their piece, but you already know what's going to happen. That Loma's ducking. How is Lomachenko ducking Gervonta Davis? When, Loma wanted to fight, people post the media, and Mayweather come out and say, leave Tank Davis alone. Let him become a ticket seller. So they already said they never wanted a Loma fight in, I believe, 2018 or something like that. But, Lomachenko's been the name of that division, and he's keeping the division alive, right? Giving all these guys their big fight. Teofimo's biggest fight is Lomachenko. Without Lomachenko, where is Devin Haney and Teofimo? I mean, really, right? But these are the names we hear. And that's just kind of the boxing industry. And that's because Lomachenko's a foreigner. Let's keep it a buck. If Lomachenko was Loma Rico or Loma Jenkins, then, he probably is hailed as one of the greatest ever. This is what I say about Canelo Alvarez. The reason that he doesn't get his credit is because he's not Canelo Alvarez, right? So if Lomachenko was American, right, and particularly complexion for the protection, Lomachenko, he would be he would probably be above Teofimo and Haney as far as the way people talk about him, right? But these guys have used uh, Lomachenko as the measuring stick, as the guy to beat, right? And yeah, Teo and Haney are overrated. But if we take Loma out of the equation, we've literally had 5 years of nothing. Take Loma out of the equation, and what do we have? It's just like what I say about Canelo Alvarez. Look, I know we hate the guy. He don't fight nobody. It's been years, but take Canelo Alvarez out of the equation, and what does David Benavidez have? What does he have? I'm watching Andrade, and all he did was just bully Andrade, and Andrade quit. Now go watch him against Gvozdyk, a guy his own size. He was not the same person. I said that, and people got mad, but it just all you have to do is go look, and you can see it with your eyes. Quitting. Canelo Alvarez was Carmelo Anderson. He'd be considered the greatest ever. Yeah, yeah, and that's my point with Lomachenko and Canelo Alvarez. If they were American and even Canelo Alvarez, he could still be Canelo Alvarez, but if he was American, he'd probably be on the Oscar level, right? I mean, as far as the accolades and getting a trophy, a statue and this and that. I mean, they gave Deontay Wilder a statue, and he'd done absolutely nothing. Loma running, come on, Jay, that's not Lomachenko has been that division. He's been that division, the greatest ever. I don't know who I said the greatest ever is, but nobody did. Anybody buy the Jake Paul fight? Nah, the only thing I wanted to say about the Jake Paul card is these guys cannot fight. I mean, these guys cannot fight. I see it all the time in the gym. I see it all the time in, different gyms, boxing gyms or clubs or sports clubs and going working out boxing. These guys have no technique. I mean, I missed, I didn't talk about Masvidal and Nick or Nate Diaz, one of those guys, one of those potheads. And I mean, the technique is awful. And, as a boxing fan, I'm like, who is paying for this crap? Those are crap fights. Now, they were entertaining. They're entertaining just the same way when I watch chicks fight at the bar or just guys fight at the bar. It's entertaining, but it's nothing I paid for. And these people, but the fans in the stands are wild. You know what? And those people may say they're boxing fans, but they probably couldn't name 3 boxers. You know what I'm saying? Boxing Gym was probably crying when H2O got TKO. Yeah, man, I don't know. That guy, he think he's a know-it-all blowhard. He appreciates the sweet science, man. I guess Frank Bay, I don't appreciate the sweet science. But what H2O was doing, I didn't even call it boxing. I called it just being like Mo athletic. He was just doing a lot of things like flicking the jab up and kind of trying to sidestep and things like that. But it wasn't impressive. Like, what's impressive is a guy boxing. Like, what body? The guy he faced was kind of impressive because he was like definitely out slick, outgunned, but he was boxing in a sense like he was standing there and he was just waiting for a shot. And it landed. That's boxing, bro. It's like he wasn't running. He knew he was outgunned, outspeed, outtimed, but he landed the great punch. That's what you got to do with kind of these slick guys. Is they kind of intimidate you because you'll see this guy and be like, oh shit, I can't keep up with them. But body, he stayed right in his face, and he knew that this guy didn't have a chin. You know what I'm saying? Not with KO, Jake Paul, and Perry. Yeah, Knot's a beast, bro. Don't fuck with the Knotster. Yeah, I seen that. Well, look, man, if it sounds too good to be true, I mean, boxing is kind of a scummy game, right? That's what they always say. H2O footwork is trash. Well, you know what? He thought he was in with the guy. He could just make it look stupid. You know what I'm saying? Kind of like with Shakira. And I missed that fight, too. I didn't really talk about that. I mean, really, because like when I'm looking at these things, I'm like, is it even worth coming on and talking about? I wasn't hyped for Boots Ennis versus Avanesian. And that's what pisses me off about boxing. Frank Bay's on his soapbox today, man. He's got a lot of fire, piss, and vinegar. You know what I'm saying? It's like they feed us crap day in and day out. They promoted the return of Boots Ennis, and he's fighting a literal can. He was 5 times bigger than that guy. I mean, that guy's an obvious weight bully, but they're trying to tell me he's great. I just don't get it. I don't get how Shakira, I mean, the fans are walking out. He's obviously boring, but they keep trying to tell us that he's great. And that's what pisses me off about boxing. I just go, man, I can't stand to sit and listen to Tim Bradley kiss Shakira's ass all night. I just can't. I can't do it. I can't do it. Oh, and Ruben Villa, he got. I thought Ruben Villa got beat. Boots, yeah, Boots is away. But Coley versus Jared Anderson. What up, man? What up, Never Sobers? Any good boxing coming up? Well, the pay per view if you want to buy it. I mean, that's the thing. But Coley, Jared Anderson. You know what, man? But Coley's decent. I think he's a more smaller heavyweight. But I want to see Baby Anderson get slept. We've heard him talk. He's not. His heart is not into boxing. He already said he wants to retire young. He just wants the bag. He's really not into to doing anything. Yeah, you know what, man? I guess I'm being a hater, man. I'm being like I hate Never Sobers. I'm a hater. I'm just. You know what, man? I'm just kind of disgusted. No, you know what? That's the thing. I'm gonna watch the shit. I'm gonna watch it. But as far as buying it, I'm not gonna buy it. I'm not gonna buy Crawford Nadimov. Just not. Oh, is he gonna debomb me? No, I think he changed his account. Okay. Well, I dropped the link, man. If anybody wants to hit the link and talk their shit, we're talking about Jake Paul. Is Mike Tyson gonna happen? We're talking Tank Davis and Loma, the news. But look, I am gonna say it looks bad. I don't know why did Lomachenko? Why'd you come out? Why'd you come out and say that your heart's not into it? Just it makes Lomachenko look bad, and I was just very disappointed because I was like, man, I want to see that fight. I gave Loma a chance. Now he's gonna be a big underdog. Yeah, no, I know he's 6'6", but he's more on the frame. I think he fought at cruiser or something like. He's more along those lines because that's what Baby Anderson. He's a smaller heavyweight. Also, I think Madrimov drops Clifford one time. Yeah, Madrimov is no joke, man. Sergeant Eagles Pigeon. Man, there's a lot of trolls in the YTBC, isn't there? I can't keep up, man. I'm gonna drop the link one more time in case anybody missed it. But yeah, man, just ranting and raving. Been a minute. Haven't really seen anything to get excited about. I think I was, I see, the Jake Paul news is pretty big news. Jake Paul and his scheme to exploit boxing fans. Because let's be honest, the people watching Jake Paul fights are not boxing fans. They're kind of like YouTubers or streamers. I think they're called streamers with the neons and things like that. Is Madrimov taking a knee, man? Is he bending the knee? I think we mistake it for respect. The way we Americans are used to trash talk. Oh, Pacheco Sulecki, yeah. I seen that. Hopefully Pacheco doesn't let us down. We've seen who was the other Mexican guy that let us down? Geez, it was just a couple of weeks ago, man. We were all praising him, and he lost to the guy that Tyrone Davis. That guy, I already forgot his name, and he just looked awful. His heart wasn't in it. I guess he missed weight, and see, here's the shitty thing about boxing, man. Our biggest event of the year, Haney Garcia, goes up in flames. They banned Ryan Garcia for a year, which, I mean, let's be honest, it's not even really a ban because Elijah Garcia, yeah. Elijah, man, you need to leave. I think he works with his dad. He already has a kid. He had a kid at like 16. Something's off with the guy. He's a hell of a prospect, hell of a fighter, but he needs probably a change of scenery because he's definitely the goods, but something's going on with his camp or something like that. So, if anybody knows that guy, yeah, man, tell him stay in it. Like H2O, he'll probably be back. A loss is not the end of the world, especially on the come up. But oh, okay. Has always been a heavyweight. Okay. Well, shit, I'll have to watch the tape, man. Like I said, man, sometimes, it's hard to keep up with everything. Who else did we see? Shaki Foster got robbed. I missed a lot, and I'm happy to, come in and kind of recap everything. But just going forward, man, what's Canelo Alvarez doing? That's the other thing. So Jake Paul, Tank Davis, what is Canelo Alvarez doing, man? I'm hearing Chris Eubanks, I'm hearing Berlanga, and now there was a rumor. I think I seen Oh shit! Damn. Okay, I'm thinking of somebody else then. Damn. Yeah, he definitely has a chance. What else is for Canelo on the? It's not David Benavidez unless they wait till November or December. But I can't just see them putting that together. Uh, yeah. What is Canelo Alvarez doing, man? We're already almost at the end of July. 1 second, guys.
We're already at the end of July. So, what's next for Canelo Alvarez? Who do you guys want to see? Yeah, you know what? I'm glad you said something, Quinn. Canelo can do whatever he wants. Yeah, that's the simple end and short of it. People hate it. It's a good thing and a bad thing, right? Well, Canelo can do whatever he wants. Now, me, I've already reached the, I guess, acceptance part. I've accepted it. The Canelo is gonna do what Canelo wants. It's that. Yeah, I seen that they took it over. Yeah, I seen that too. Uh, but just Canelo Alvarez, the fighter, the businessman, Canelo can do whatever he wants. You know what? It just what it really amounts to is who's gonna pay for it. The fans are kind of already revolting, right? They're saying they're not going to pay for it. But one thing I realized, and it takes a while for people to let it sink in, but been brought to my attention before on streams that I've done, is guests that have been on here, is that what Canelo does really well in Mexico. I mean, he gets like 10 million viewers or even more. I mean, I'm just saying that number. But he has a great deal in Mexico, international rights. He makes a shit ton of money, probably in other revenues. So he doesn't give a fuck. Canelo's fans don't give a fuck, and Canelo doesn't give a fuck what you or I think. That's just the short and end of it. It is, yeah, nerd. Why can't Canelo fight one time a year? Maybe these haters will learn to appreciate him. Well, that's what he's doing. I think he's seen the game. They talk about the Floyd Mayweather blueprint, and that's what Canelo Alvarez is doing. Valdez is already retiring soon. You mean Oscar Valdez? So Canelo Alvarez, he's of that mindset that he doesn't care, and if the networks are willing to pay for it, look, if Eddie Hearn or whoever the Chris Eubanks is with, they're willing to buy a Canelo Alvarez fight and give him 25, 35 million dollars. Who knows? And then he has the TV Mexican rights, that he sells. Man, he doesn't care. If he fights Berlanga, that's going to be 300,000, 400,000 pay-per-views just because it's Mexico, Puerto Rico. And you know what? The fans can kick and cry all they want. Miss Benavidez is going to cry throughout the rest of his career in duck fights. Well, they're saying he's hurt now. But look, man, you got to stay relevant. You got to stay in the news. I just can't sit and cry for a fighter. I can't. The only time I can cry for a fighter is if he's really not getting a shot. But even if nobody's giving you a shot, you still got to fight. I mean, if this is your livelihood, if this is your career, you still got to train. And that's one thing I'm noticing. I don't see career fighters. Devin Haney gets beat once, gets his O back, and then says he doesn't want to fight for 2 years. I mean, what? I'm looking at Andy Ruiz right now in the stands of a fight. And what has he been doing with his career? And this is what I'm talking about, man. Like, I mean, look, if you made enough money and you don't need to fight, then cool, I'm okay with that. But you can't expect me or fans of boxing to argue for you, to make you stay relevant. If you're out of sight, out of mind. I was thinking another guy, Andy Cruz. Where is he at? Is he fighting? I mean, I thought I seen him one time in the summer, and then he's just disappeared. It's like, bro, you gotta stay in the spotlight. You gotta keep fighting. You gotta keep making noise, and you gotta keep fighting the best competition that you can get. Now, if Canelo Alvarez wants to fight a bum of the month, I'm okay with that. I mean, he's already done enough. I'm not gonna sit and cry and rave who Tank Davis fights, who Canelo Alvarez fights, who Shakira Twitterson fights. I'm just not gonna do it. Oh, okay. You're right. He is. Okay, but who is he fighting? I mean, is he fighting a name? Is he fighting anybody, some guy named Mora to get us excited about? The only good fight, and it's kind of a testament to where we're at in boxing. The only good fight to look forward to is Virgil Ortiz. Yeah, Virgil Ortiz and Bokachek. And even that guy's kind of an unknown, right? Yes, I seen Davina. He looked good. He was in versus an overmatched guy, but I mean the way he was walking him down, putting his punches together. You know, Rabisi with the highlight knockout. But again, who was he fighting? And Rocky Hernandez versus Lugo. I have to look. I don't. I don't. Was Rocky Hernandez the guy that lost to a Shocky Foster? I'll have to look back at that. Uh, but you know, I try to look at what are they giving me as a fight fan, right? I'm subscribed to Zone. I got ESPN Plus. You know, I guess PBC is giving us a free fight. Well, not free. You have to be a subscribed to Amazon Prime. But Kayla Plant McCormick, like, come on, man. What am I supposed to do with that? You know? Oh yeah, yeah. Lugo to beat Laura. Yeah, we know Lar wasn't really in there, and where's he been? Antonio Moran. Does anybody have a scouting report on Moran? I've heard of his name, not too sure what he's done lately, but you know, I mean, who's excited for McCambie for Caleb Plant? Not me, said anyone. I think Stephen Fulton has fight Ronnie Rios. That's what I heard. I mean, where has that guy been? I think that guy fought like 10 years ago. I mean, come on, they just recycling guys. Uh, yeah, this is what I'm talking about, man. This is the shit that I'm talking about. Now, I did hear Tim Zoo is coming back. McCorby or McCumbie, I think it's like Gumby, McCumbie. Uh, Tim Zoo, you know, and this is the crazy thing. So it's like Fulton and Plant can come back and fight Scrubs, but Tim Zoo, I don't know, man. I really think they're trying to. They really want Tim Zoo out of the picture. They think he's dangerous, and so I guess he's coming back against who is he coming back? Lubin or Jesus Ramos, who we seen get robbed against Lubin. Rocha, I'm over Rocha Pounds. I'm sorry. You know, I know we try to highlight Mexican fighters, but Rocha lost a Centillion who got murdered versus Norman, you know? But Rocha's just like, I don't what is Oscar doing? I was wondering, I'm thinking, I'm like, I mean, he's fighting on Friday night. I guess Oscar's using him as filler. You know, he's like an appetizer. Oscar just has him like breadsticks on the table. Like, who do I got? You know, just throw Rocha in there. Like, you know, Roach is becoming like fuck Diaz. Oh my gosh, Vladimir Hernandez looked good. I think yeah, hype Rocha, man.
Look, Roach's best one is Blair Cobb. Like, look, man, Roach is a good cup fighter. He's gonna sell like 5,000, 6,000 tickets in LA. You know, he can. Oscar can use Rocha to build his other younger fighters on Rocha undercards. Yeah, there's no super fights. You know, that's what keeps boxing alive, man. Is the super fights. It's like, you know, we can have mid-range fights, we can have Pro Box TV fights, we could have Plant versus McCombie, as long as there's like a super fight coming around the corner. You know, but if all we got is Clarissa Shields, Alex Rocha, and then a pay-per-view with the guy with Madrimov, look, man, I know we're hardcores, but I'm looking at just from like when I'm gonna sit home on Saturday night, do I want to sit home and watch this, or do I want to go out and have fun? You know, it is summer, right? It's summer. I have some time. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I highly doubt. You know, even when I heard Lomachenko versus Tank Davis, I doubted it was going to happen. It just seemed too good to be true. And I don't even think Tank Davis is mad at it. Yeah, on social media, he's going to say it. But even at 37, it was still a dangerous fight for Stank Davis. So I'm thinking, you know, my mind tells me, you know, we probably don't see Stank Davis for the rest of the year. And it just completely makes me hate boxing. And, you know, I get called certain things for my views, but I gotta call it out. It's like and I say these guys don't fight, but they don't. And you can say you can read into it what you want, right? Stank Davis Shakira, it's ready, it's aligned, and they're both champions at 135. Now we didn't get Stank Davis, Davina Hanke, you know, we didn't get Teofimo versus Stank Davis. We got Ryan versus Stank, but Ryan was weight drained. We have Shakira in his prime, undefeated, and a champion, free agent. He said he wants Tank Davis. Tank Davis, why doesn't he fight that guy? But we know these guys don't fight, and it's not going to happen. You know what I'm saying? Stank Davis, Willie Zepeda lines up. Oscar said he wants to go. It gives Zepeda a belt, Baranchik. Maybe he could go do that in in October, and then maybe Davis in December. I mean, look, man, it could happen, but I mean, who is Stank Davis gonna fight? He's gonna wait for Pitbull Cruz, a rematch with Rolly Romero. I mean, what's this guy gonna do? It's like he waited all these years. All the fans got hyped for him and Lomachenko, and then Lomachenko pulls the rug from under his feet. And me as a boxing fan, and you're gonna say I'm not a boxing fan, I was happy. If you would listen to me, I said that's what Lomachenko should do. I said, Loma, don't give this guy. They're gonna put if Sting Davis somehow beat Lomachenko, that he's number one pound for pound. They'll probably put him over Bud Crawford just because he's younger, right? And I'm like, Loma, I don't want to see that happen. I don't want to see Loma get stretched and then Tank Davis be called the greatest lightweight ever. They're already calling him now, right? Beating Frank Martin. Who the fuck is Frank Martin? But this is what they're saying about the guy. And then they're gonna feed him an old Loma, all right? And then he's the greatest thing since sliced bread. So I told Loma, man, I had a personal one-on-one. I said, Loma, don't do it, man. For us, make Tank Davis and Shakira do the heavy lifting. Make them fight each other, fight Zepeda, maybe rematch, and then Loma, you sit on the sidelines like they do. Like, wasn't Sting Davis a regular champion for like 2 or 3 years? He's just fighting, whoever. And I thought about it, and I really thought about it. It takes me a while to process things, but once I sit and I think, I kind of don't really pay attention to boxing for a while, and I kind of come back and I look at things, I get a fresh new perspective, and I go, it's crazy how we get fooled by the hype. You know what I'm saying? We get fooled by all the hype and all the Twitter and all the Instagram, and we really get fooled by the hype. Like that guy H2O got exposed last night, right? Because we're looking at style, not substance. That's what it is. It's style over substance. So the Shakira, the Stain Davises, they got the bling bling. Not, it's all style. H2O with slick, moving his head, jabbing, going ooh ah. Bradley going ooh ah, and it's all style, right? And it's all knockoffs. It's not substance. Like William Zepeda, not much flash, not much style, but it's substance. There's something there. Now, is he gonna beat Shakira Twitterson? Is he gonna beat Sting Davis? That remains to be seen. They're saying he's ducking, but I agree with Oscar. I let those guys do the heavy lifting. Why let Cepeda and Loma sit? Let them feast on bum of the month, right? Don't give these guys a payday. Let them do the heavy lifting. Let them prove their pound for pound status. And that 2 pound for pound guys, Shakir Twitterson, not on my list, but on the media and cuts list, 2 pound for pound guys, right? They both got these like insane fan bases. The Shakir Twitterson's and ATG, Sting Davis is an ATG. They're both there. They're both. Sting Davis is 28. Shakir is 27. They're both pound for pound in the same division, and they're not gonna fight. And their fans are not calling for it. But they both want to feast on Navarrete or Lomachenko or kind of an unknown, unproven Williams Zepeda. This is what they want. It's just like Boots Ennis. He wants to sit, right? He wants to sit, and he's gonna feast on a Barrios. He's gonna feast on maybe Mean Machine, right? These guys are older. They've already been beaten down. He's not gonna fight the new up and coming fresh fighter in Norman Jr. You know what I'm saying? They don't want to fight each other. Crawford doesn't look anxious to fight Boots Ennis. So what is really Boots Ennis gonna do? But it's kind of his own undoing, right? He sits on the sideline and he waits and he waits. Oh, I'm gonna age out Crawford or Spence, and I'm gonna feast on them when they look weak. And look, that's boxing from time immemorial, right? But one thing Canelo Alvarez didn't do, he didn't do that, right? Now, did he feast on an older Sergey Kovalev? Maybe, but at least Sergey was a champion, right? He just went up there and did it. He went up there and fought Plant, a young undefeated fighter. He went up and fought Smith and Saunders. They weren't old. They weren't faded. They were the champions. You go up and fight the champion. You just go up and do it. There's no waiting for a weaker champion. Like Bud Crawford, he's fighting Madrimov. Madrimov is a relatively unknown. We don't really know much about him. He's got maybe 11 fights. He's got some highlights, but he's still relatively unknown. The other champions, I think, is because Charlo had dropped the belts. 154 would be stacked if he did. Yeah, and Virgil's fighting for an interim belt, so likely he'll be elevated. Bokacek is a tough guy, but that's actually what I was saying before. But it's crazy that Virgil, coming off this rhamnodosis or something, he had an illness, and he hasn't fought anybody. I mean, he fought Mean Machine, but after his, Sergey was younger than Bozdik. Okay, thank you. He hasn't fought anybody, right? But he's taking on the interim champ. He's going to get a belt. But that's the best fight. And we just know it by looking at it, right? We know Virgil's come forward. He's got 19, 25, 20 knockouts, like 5 first round knockouts. Last two, I mean, look, were they against cans? Yes. But, we've seen guys struggle with cans, right? So, Bokacek, he beat Mendoza, who beat Fedora. And Fedora's a champ, right? Fedora's sitting there. Madrimov. We got Virgil Bokacek. But we don't know what Fedora's going to do. I guess we heard with Spence. We don't know yet. They said October, but there's still no word. Remains to be seen. And that'll be pay-per-view. But none of these guys are giving us anything. So the best fight pretty much for the summer right now is Virgil Ortiz and these guys in their names, Boca Chuck or Boca Cheek, something like that. That's the best fight on the calendar. Now, Crawford Madrimov could be a blowout. And Crawford could go in and spank this dude. And then you'll really feel like a fool. Like, damn, man, I really slapped like $100 down. Virgil, Andy Ruiz, Miller will be interesting. Could be a slugfest. Morrell should get his guy out of there. He should look spectacular. Andy Cruz will likely get his guy out of there. He'll look really good. But Andy Cruz fights can be pretty dull. The fight of the night is going to be El Rayo versus Pitbull. And, Pitbull is coming off a spectacular win against Rolly Romero. But, let's call apples to apples, oranges to oranges. Rolly Romero is not the best fighter in the world, So, but it was a good win for Pitbull Cruz. And Rayo, he's coming off a brutal knockout where he knocked out Chris Colbert in highlight fashion after getting robbed. But then we did see him lose to Edwin De Los Santos, who infamously lost to Shakira Twitterson in that snoozer. That should be a highlight fight. But, Rayo's kind of unknown. We don't know it, and he's actually moving up. Yeah, Boca Cuck, Boho Cuck, and Virgil both prime and young with KO power. Yeah, that's going to be an explosive, awesome fight. You know what I'm saying? There's going to be no dancing. There's going to be no running. It's two powers coming together and slugging it out. Quentin, you're going with Valenzuela? That's a hell of a shocker, man. Pitbull, he knows one mode, man. It's seek and destroy. Pitbull, yeah, Morrell versus another overhyped. Yeah, I've seen the guy he fought, but I think he's been at club level fighting on like pro box. Nothing to write home about. And Morrell's kind of just dangling in the wind. And that's what I mean, man. It's like, and Billy's fight. Actually, there is a good fight next week, but it's not a prime versus prime. It's Billy versus Derevyanchenko. Yeah, Khalid is a good fighter. Yeah, he's decent, but Morrell should be on another level. Billy is fighting Derevyanchenko. But see, here's the thing, man. I'm okay. Yes, boxing fans, saludos, que chingue. These are decent fights, but they should be fighting each other. David should be fighting Billy. You know what I'm saying? That's the fight that should be happening. Why are they fighting? Why isn't Billy fighting Derevyanchenko, who already got beat by Jaime Munguia? And Jaime Munguia is fighting, is it September? He's fighting Byzantinian, who I've seen before. He's kind of like a slicker Eastern European guy. He could give Jaime some problems. But Jaime's fighting a legit dude. The guy is a contender. So we got that. So Jaime, the return of Jaime, Morrell, Benavidez, Loma. So nobody said, I didn't see any. Is Lomachenko ducking Tank Davis? Now, I know what we are going to say. We know what the other guys are going to say. Well, do we honestly believe that Lomachenko is ducking Tank Davis? Guys, I dropped the link if anybody wants to hop on and give me their boxing takes. What did I did a preview? Well, not a preview. I did a analysis of Benavidez, Gvozdyk. David looked fat, slow, and tired. He- I mean, David Benavidez completely gassed out. Now, I heard they gave him a week to decide what he wants to do, whether he wants to go stay at 175 or does he want to go back down to 168. So I guess he hadn't decided,
And then he's getting an extension on that, right? So Benavidez is in between a rock and a hard place because unless he gets a fight with Canelo Alvarez, there's really no point in him staying at 168 because he's just gonna sit dying on a vine. I mean, I don't know. Is he gonna keep picking on? Is he gonna fight Charlo? I mean, who is he gonna? Bazzini is Canadian. Yeah, he's decent. He'll be a decent test for Jaime coming back after a loss. But David, and then if he stays at 175, he'll be expected to fight the winner of Beterbiev versus Bivol. But then even then, they fight in October, and the way the boxing works, they're not gonna come back for another 6 months, and then there might be a rematch. And Beterbiev is already 42, so he could retire. And I don't know if David wants to fight Bivol. Is it even a big fight? I don't know. But so David could be out. When did he fight? In June, so he'll be out till next April. Like this guy, what is he doing? The last he fought once, and he's done this before. And this is what I keep saying. Look, I like David. He's a good fighter. I actually bought Plant versus Benavidez because I thought it'd be an interesting fight. But his career just dying before our very eyes. If he'll be 28, he'll be where Tank Davis is, and his only claim to fame is chasing Canelo Alvarez, who it doesn't look like they're gonna fight. I really thought they were gonna fight this year, but it doesn't look to be happening. But one thing I did see, and shout out, who I don't really like these guys, Ness of the Boxing Boys, but he does get good info. He has good info. Check him out. I'm not a hater. I just think they get a lot of fools on there and these little hype jobs. But he did. I clipped it. Ness did say that Benavidez made the mistake. I was arguing with somebody in BDA's chat. Shout out BDA. Go check BDA out. Always got the good content. I haven't seen him in a minute because it's been pretty slow. But somebody was arguing about the whole Benavidez. The WC is corrupt because they didn't make Benavidez the mandatory. And I said it works out for both of them. You know what I'm saying? I think they're both making money not fighting each other. David gets to make money fighting lesser guys like Gvozdyk. He can win, and Canelo's just gonna pick and get paid for basically milking it, milking a Benavidez fight, kind of dangling it. Like, okay, I'll fight this guy, and then I'll fight Benavidez, right? Kind of Canelo's playing everybody. Well, salute Canelo. It's all good. But the WBC was actually going to mandate. They were going to mandate in March David Benavidez. They said in March they were going to mandate Canelo Alvarez to fight Benavidez. It was going to happen. And then David announces the fight in June. So it completely blew up those plans. So then they said, well, why are we going to mandate this fight? Go check it out. Ness on the boxing clips. He explains it. I'm kind of giving a basic surface level explanation. But David was going to be mandated to fight Canelo Alvarez, and then it would have went to purse bid, and Canelo would have had to either drop it or give David step aside money or fight him, right? But David chooses to fight in June, no less, on the undercard of Sting Davis, no less, right? So he takes the fight, and then it blows up. Now the WBC said, well, why are we going to mandate it? If you're fighting in June, you're most likely not going to be back in November. Canelo fights in September. So basically, it was a big fuck up. David, it has to be questioned his motives and what he's doing. No point in milking a fight since Canelo is old and David can't make 168 comfortably. Yeah, but you know what, man? I mean, it just makes sense, right? Like David makes money fighting because he has the Canelo fight. He can sell himself by saying Canelo Alvarez is ducking me, and that's how David sells his fights. Like I said, with Lomachenko, with Canelo Alvarez, what are these divisions? What are these fighters without Lomachenko and without Canelo Alvarez? And that's just where we are with boxing, right? Like, look at Alexander Usyk. Okay, Alexander, yes, he's done his job, But without AJ and Fury, those are the guys that make the money. AJ really makes the money, right? He's fighting the boy. He's fighting AJ versus the boy on pay per view, and AJ hasn't really done anything. You know what I'm saying? Like his best claim to fame is getting knocked out by a 30-1 dog in Andy Ruiz. What has AJ done after that except lose to Usyk, right? But Usyk gets to make the money because he's got the names in AJ. But you take AJ out, and even Fury, what is he gonna do, right? Usyk, nobody makes money without it. So it's like with Inui right now. Inui, all these guys, they make money with Inui. And Tank Davis, uh, he really don't make money for other guys like Canelo. When Caleb Plant fought Canelo, he got 10 million. Um, yes, Joshua claimed versus Ruiz. But what I'm saying is Joshua's still the money man without having fought the toughest fights. You know what I'm saying? He was supposed to fight Wilder. Wilder blew it. And I'm saying, Usyk, he's only relevant because he has the name, Joshua hanging around, and then he has Fury. But Usyk alone, without those names, I mean, he doesn't make the money that he's making. He's not the star that he is with those names. So boxing is a name game, right? It's like with the Jake Paul. Jake Paul is the name. He's using Mike Tyson's name to sell his fights. I don't even know if that fight happens. Um, but those are the names. In the women's, we seen Amanda Serrano last night. She's a name, and she's gonna make money with Katie Taylor. Clarissa Shields, she's fighting bums and no hopers in gymnasiums because there's no name. The last name she had was a Savannah Marshall. So boxing is all about using the name. And right now, the hottest name is Canelo Alvarez, Lomachenko. Virgil gonna beat Sergey. Why are all these games named Sergey? Sergey Bokachuk, Sergey Israel Madrimov. These guys kind of all have. I don't know if it's a middle name. Sergey. Yes, Mexican boxing #1. Salute. Yeah, hit the link, man. If anybody wants to get on and speak their piece. But are we excited? Nobody said if Lomo's ducking. Who do we want Canelo to fight next? Ukrainians. Yeah, I call them Eastern Europeans. Uzbekistan, Ukraine. All these. Yeah, I mean, they all used to be Russian, unless my geography and history is off. But pretty much, I consider them Russian, but they just call them Eastern Bloc. You know, but Canelo versus Berlanga seems next. Yeah, I mean, look, I know you guys are gonna hate me. I always wanted to see Berlanga get slipped. Call me a masochist. I always wanted to see Canelo versus Berlanga. I said it like a year and a half ago. I was on BDA share, so BDA, I want to see Berlanga and Canelo, and people. Oh my God, how dare you? I'm like, look, man. Like I was saying with Canelo Alvarez, I've accepted that Canelo is gonna do what he wants to do. All these guys do, and that's the thing. I go, if you look around. I mean, Stan Davis does what he wants to do. Teofimo just fought Steve Claggett, and that's another thing. It's like, how am I supposed to get excited for Teofimo, Steve Claggett? I mean, really, Teofimo does what he wants to do. Shakir does what he wants to do. Boots Ennis does what he wants to do. David Benavidez does what he wants to do. And Canelo does what he wants to do. All these guys do. And guess what? We're all going to watch, and we're all going to talk. That's the reality. What? Okay. And that's one of the reasons I haven't been on. Like, that's the only thing to talk about. I have to talk about Shakir and Ardanuvian. Flatback Thursdays was funny. What's that? Mexican boxing. Look, that's what we have to talk about. If you're a boxing fan, this is what we have to talk about, right? If we're a boxing fan, we have to talk about Alex Rocha versus Dominguez. This is what we have to talk about. We have to talk about Jake Paul and Mike Perry, Amanda Serrano, Katie Taylor, Clarissa Shields. We have to talk about Clarissa Shields. Now, the big news is Tank Davis and what Lomachenko said, right? He told his manager came on and said that his heart's not in it, basically. What Oscar does on the social media. Yeah, Oscar's good for the sport. And the biggest thing we could have had this year was Ryan Garcia, and they banned him. This is what boxing continually shoots itself in the foot. We finally have an American star. They always talk about American. We finally have an American star, and it's King Rye, right? Free King Rye, and then we ban him because he beat one of their hype jobs. Now I think it's a conspiracy, right? We've had some conspiracy. I was gonna just touch. I don't know how you got, the Trump situation, and I seen everybody on that. I was like, I'm not gonna touch it. I don't know too much about it. YouTube is tricky. They could ban you for talking about it. Biden just announced he's out of it. So things are getting really interesting. And you know what's crazy? This is how I know things are crazy in our country. Is you can bet on the presidential election now. You can gamble on your president. That to me is crazy. So, are there conspiracies? Yes, I think there are conspiracies because when you have money and power and you have greed and you have avarice and, people doing bad things behind the scenes, and then you have the good guys versus the bad guys. And no matter what side you're on, you think the other side is the bad side and we're the good guys. So I kind of leave that to the other talking heads. But yeah, man, I think that the riot thing was a conspiracy. Now I don't know who the bad guy is and who the good guy is. Is Ryan the good guy? Is Ryan the bad guy? I kind of thought Ryan was trolling and playing the bad guy. You know, um, yeah, I don't want to get into political talk. I'm just kind of, saying what the Ryan Garcia thing. And really, boxing does itself no favors, man. Boxing does itself no favors with banning Ryan Garcia. We finally had an American superstar, and they banned him. And he, I guess he's going crazy. He's trashing hotel rooms. He's breaking into his baby mama's house. He's saying really inflammatory things. He's being a super troll. Um, did you see the Chicano kid or the W flight? Nah, man. Remind me what his name. Weird. Yes. And then Shakira and Keyshawn were begging for a Ryan fight. Well, because they know they can't fight. They can't make money any other way. They know they're not going to get a Tank Davis fight. These guys want the big fights, but they don't want to fight anybody. Make it make sense. Excuse me. Um, I guess Hunto Nakatani was in fought Astrolobio. I guess it was a bummer of a fight, like one punch, first round knockout. And they showed in Japan at a crazy time. So missed that fight. And I guess Inui's fighting a scrub, Donahue. I mean, he's a contender. He's an ex-contender. Inui's fighting kind of a gimme fight. And that's boxing for you, man. You know what, man? Inui's took on tough fight after tough fight. He got dropped his last fight. And then he's going to fight Donahue, who, none of us know, right? So 1 second. So yeah, man, that's what keeping up with the sport of boxing, man. Keeping up with the sport, trying to, talk some boxing, see what you guys think. What is Canelo's next move? I'm gonna drop the link one more time. But what do you guys think, man? Is Lomachenko ducking? I don't know. I don't know anybody really say if he's ducking. And Anui taking a break, wear and tear showing. Anthony Oloscuaga. Whoa, what a name, right? Anui taking yeah, that's boxing, man. It's like you take a tough fight, maybe you take another tough fight, and then you kind of take a gimme fight or two, right? So if you're fighting, you should probably be fighting 4 times a year, 2 tough fights, and then 2 gimmies, right? It's a good way to make money. Quentin, thank you. TJ Donny, I remember him on the Matchroom cards fighting Daniel Roman. I remember Roman. I think he's an older fighter. He looks like I think he's a white guy, right? Is he from Europe or he's from England or Britain or the UK? He looks like he's gonna get mollywopped. I think I knew he's gonna blast him through the ropes. You know what I'm saying? It's gonna be another first round, second round fight. Mexican boxing number one. Loma not taking the fight because Tank wanted 40 million. He don't want to deal with the drama again just to be fucked. What? I don't know where you seen 40 million. It's probably true, but that's crazy. They're gonna build Tank and use yeah, I mean that's what Tio did, that's what Haney did. That's why I said, man, boxing kind of sucks. He's Irish. Oh, he's really gonna get smashed. No disrespect. I love Irish Mickey Ward, right? But Donnie, look, it's a gimme fight. It is what it is. This is boxing, man. Oh, Bam Rodriguez, right? What is Bam gonna do? Bam will probably come back and take a gimme fight after. Oh no, wait. I think Bam said I seen Chocolatito. Chocolatito is done, man. I think Chocolatito is roadkill for the top guys. He probably could do a farewell tour, make some money with some kind of contender guys. But as far as finding Bam Rodriguez or the top guys, I think Chocolatito should call it a day. Irish can't fight. Loma realized they're using them. Yeah, man, we've been saying it. Look, man, make those guys do the heavy lifting. Make those guys fight. They want Loma to do all the heavy lifting. Loma already did it. He made his run for undisputed, beating Linares and then fighting Tiafimo. He did the heavy lifting. Make Tank Davis, Shakira, and Zapata make them all fight, and Loma gets the winner at the end of next year, right? By Bam fighting Gallo. Okay, you know what, Gallo, let it go, man. You don't want that problem, man. Probably come back, fight Bam next year. Let Bam get some wear and tear. Now, the way I look at boxing, man, I look at boxing from a strategic standpoint. I look at it as if I was fighting or if I had a fighter, and I would not recommend Bam Gallo getting right back in there. And Gallo, you were outgunned. Bam looked 3 times your size. He's a snacker. He looks strong as hell, hitting with power. Yeah, you dropped him, but I don't think it's enough. I think Bam probably knocks you out even quicker. Gallo wants to get KO. You mean he wants to get KO, or he thinks he can knock out Bam? Bam will probably be even better next time out. I think Gallo would have a better chance, coming back. And yeah, I get it, pounds. Gallo, it's in his, but he needs to get his rhythm and timing back. It was obvious the ring rust was there. He didn't start to get his rhythm and timing back until the middle of the fight. But by then it was too late, and Bam rhythm and reflexes and youth just took over. So Julio Cesar Chavez, all the great Mexicans used to go back to Mexico and fight 6 or 7 times before they would come back to the States and fight a big fight. I mean, that was boxing like 30, 40 years ago. I mean, I know, I'm no historian. I don't really look to the latter times, the before TV times, but they really would do that. They would fight. They would fight 2 weeks later, and then in that week they'd fight 2 fights against. I mean, obviously cans. They're probably sparring matches. They just sanctioned as a fight. Let's be honest. If we're talking about boxing, but you got to get your rhythm and timing back, dude. If you don't do anything for a month, you're gonna, if I don't go to the gym and hit the bag, or I don't go lift weights for 2 weeks, when I go back, I'm sluggish, I'm sore, I'm getting tired faster, right? You would think with the rest, I would be more refreshed, but it's actually the opposite. You need to train hard, take a break, train hard, take a break, and it's the same with boxing. You need to build those calluses. Your hands need to be made tough again. Your skin needs to get rough again. You know what I'm saying? Valdez and Vaquero Robinson happened. Yeah, I don't really need to see Vaquero and Valdez again. I don't want. Look, man, that's what I'm talking about, man. They want these guys to just beat the bloody shit out of each other, right? They always want these Mexican fighters, Latino fighters, sometimes Mexican American fighters. They always want them to beat the shit out of each other, and then they get the other guys to come in and get an easy win, And that's the way boxing works, and I'm sick and tired of it. I try to call it out. Adam Hurley, salute. Jake could fight a good boxer right now. He probably trains harder than most of these dudes out here. Yeah, that could be the help of supplements. Jake looked fat though. I don't think he'll be fat against Mike Tyson. I think he would be on a cycle. Allegedly. I don't know, man. Jake, he looked fat and slow to me. He was in there against a guy who couldn't hurt him, and he still got kind of rocked a little bit. Jake is decent, but he's not ready for a top fighter. There's just no way. He's decent. He's a club guy, and a real trained professional will beat him. But I think the fight's entertaining, and he's got a good hustle going. He has guys on the undercard. He's got this bad baby Indian guy out there. The next person, Hasim, who slept Ryan Silve. Get Rocky his title finally. Third time is the charm. Yeah, we shall see, man. But bam, so maybe Gallo in December. And again, a lot of these fights I doubt happen, man. I think Gallo's team will come to their senses. I mean, I think right away, I think the second he got up after getting knocked out, he's like, yeah, I want the rematch. They went in the locker room and he wants the rematch. But I think, we haven't heard much. I think they'll rethink about it. He'll realize he needs some time. Let Bam go unify. Maybe Bam gets knocked down again, gets some wear and tear, and then Gallo, after getting a couple gimme fights in, getting sharp and ready, and then he could really challenge the young up and comer Bam Rodriguez. You know, Eddie Hearn freezing Eduardo Sugar at 130. That's whack. Um, well, you know what, Eddie Hearn, man, he likes to get his guys up. He needs to keep his UK guys and some of these American guys he's fighting. He needs to keep them busy, and he knows that he needs Mexican fighters though. So he'll use them, but he'll use them when the time's right. He's not gonna get his guys beat, right away. But he knows that that's kind of how you build a fighter. You get him a tough Mexican, or you give him a slick African American fighter. A fighter's got to build his resume, and he builds his resume fighting different styles, different levels of contenders and ex champions, order fighters. You really don't see the young prospects fight each other because they don't want to knock each other off. But once you become a champion, you're expected to fight other champions. So yeah, man. With the news with Loma, so I don't know what Tank Davis does next. I don't know if he fights. I don't think he fights again. I mean, he should fight Shakir Twitterson, but I think both guys would be afraid of losing. And in their community, in their fan base, they're all about protecting the O. The O means everything to them. It's how they sell the fights. They're called pound for pound greats, all time greats already. So that's crazy that Josh gets tons of title fights. Josh, who? Remind me. Uh, who they're saying Cambozos is gonna fight Liam Paro. Now that's a guy who gets a ton of title fights. Saber Robinson, he's a guy that gets a ton of title fights. Just for the name. Who is Teofimo gonna fight next? We just seen Subriel Matias get upset. So that was gonna be an opponent for Teofimo. So who does Haney fight coming back next? Who does Teo fight? Yeah, they won't. Oh, Josh Warrington. Yeah, yeah. Well, that's an 80 guy. Yeah, you're right. Nail on the head. They won't fight each other. Yep, that's why they won't happen for at least not for a while. Yeah, man. They know the game. They're not gonna fight each other. They need to protect the O. It doesn't make any sense for them to fight each other and get beat. Oh, okay. Lopez versus Paro. Now that would be an excellent fight. That could be Lopez versus Josh Taylor all over again. I mean, to me, Josh Taylor is better than Paro, but Paro is fresher, younger, more athletic. I don't think he's as good of a fighter as Josh Taylor was. I heard Teo fighting Brian Norman, but I highly doubt that. I don't think Teofimo's dad would let him fight Brian Norman Jr. Teo, he doesn't have the pop at 140. What's he gonna do at 147? He wouldn't be able to keep that guy off of him. Now, I'm not too high on Brian Norman. I think, wow, you think Teo stops Norman? Now, that's what's crazy. I don't think Norman's anything special, but Teo beating Norman would be an excellent, I think would be get him back on the pound for pound list. But yeah, Teo's career is struggling, man. We got to think, are these guys done? Is Teofimo done already? Is Ryan done already? Is Ryan's looking fat, man. He's looking fat and out of shape. I don't know if Ryan will ever be the same again, man. I think, I root for Ryan, obviously, Free King Rye, right? But, I try to just look at it as like a racehorse, like a race car. You only have so many fights in you. You only have so many great performances in you. If you're a great dancer, your legs are going to get old. If you're a great singer, eventually you're going to get older and your voice is not going to be as strong as it was when you were young, wear and tear, lifestyle outside the ring, all these things make a difference. Yeah, Zepeda looked great though. So Ryan Norman is He's not okay. We don't really know what he is yet. Santinian wasn't a great test. It wasn't like Santinian was a great Mexican fighter. He was one of our like minor league fighters. He's gonna go and give you a test. But Norman, I think he's in between. He's maybe a step above Barrios, and he's a little under Ennis. But I don't like that fight for Teofimo. It's not a good fight, and I don't think his family wants it. Teo should probably go after Paro and unify and try to get a fight against Pitbull. Now, Teofimo, Pitbull, or Ryan Garcia are big money making fights for Teo. And Teofimo, I know he listens to the YTDC. That's what you should do. Leave that guy Norman alone. Let Boots Ennis go fight him, or let him unify against Stan Jonas or Mario Barrios. And I did hear Mario Barrios, Manny Pacquiao. Yes. Gosh, I would hate to see Pacquiao go out losing to Mario Barrios, but I would love to see Pacquiao get a highlight reel knockout against Barrios. I mean, we know Barrios is chinny. We know he could be beat, so that would be great. Ennis, Brian is defense worse than Ennis. Yeah, they both could be touched. I mean, but yeah, I seen Brian Norman get rocked versus a club level fighter, Boca Chico or something like that, some Puerto Rican guy. Uh, but I'm glad someone mentioned it. William Zepeda. Yes, William Zepeda looked fantastic against Giovanni Cabrera. We've seen Giovanni Cabrera give Pitbull all he could handle, and then he comes in and gets slept by Zepeda. But I think that just goes to show that Zepeda is a different animal. He's a buzzsaw. He's a killer bee. You know what I'm saying? He's gonna give anybody he fights the all they can handle. He doesn't stop. Mexican boxing number one. Uh, nah, it's easy to say it's happening next. Brian is easy pickings. He got dropped by Boca Chico. Yep. Get beat up by 140 pounder guy. Went up to 147. It was a close fight. Ennis is a middleweight. Pitbull is. We don't know. We don't know. We haven't seen Pitbull. We seen him have a great fight against Javante Davis. That seems like 10 years ago, right? He beats Rolly Romero. He's a champion. He is a champion. But as far as beating the top guys, Paro, it was Matias. Remember, we were all on Matias's dick. And this is the thing about boxing. You can don't ever get hyped about one guy. Like Zepeda. I'm getting hyped about Zepeda, right? I'm getting hyped. For real pounds, damn. Y'all keep. I love talking with y'all, man. Y'all really know boxing, man. Again, does anybody want to jump on? Hop on, click the link. Tell me what you think. Oh, stop it, Sergeant. You know you ready. We all were talking about Matias is a beast. Everybody's ducking him. I think I was the only one, and even I was like, damn, Matias is a beast. But I didn't even give Paro a chance. I said, can Paro box? And Paro actually boxed. You know what I'm saying? I didn't and Paro's not really a great boxer. Um, but we were all saying Matias is a beast, and now we're all getting behind Zepeda. Zepeda's unbeatable. He's a beast. That guy Barenchik could give Zepeda some problems just with the movement. I mean, we always say styles makes fights, right? Styles makes fights, and this and that. And Zepeda's style is come forward, throw a lot of punches. So his kryptonite would be a boxer like Shakira Twitterson. Now we're picking Zepeda to steamroll, but can Zepeda beat Stank Davis? It'd be a hell of a fight. But nobody's unbeatable, man. Shakira Twitterson could probably outbox Stank Davis. We gotta see the fights. Just going back to Matias, man, is you can never get behind anybody. Even David Benavidez can't get behind him too much. I mean, if he fought B-Ball probably beats him. Nobody gave Ryan Garcia a chance, and that's why we got to see the fights, man. Got to see the fights. Quitting. No pressure fighters. Pressure fighters are generally the kryptonite to a boxer. Yeah, vice versa, right? I guess the term is pure boxer. Someone like Sandor Martin, who's never gonna stand in front of you. Boxer punchers are the kryptonite to pressure fighters. Yeah, man, it's like a game of tic-tac-toe, right? Paper, rock, scissors, depending on what you go up against. But that's why you need somebody that can do it all. Somebody, a great fight. That's what great fighters do, right? They can box, they can punch, They can brawl. They can fight inside. They got a great jab, and they're far and few in between. Great fighters are far and few in between. Some of the great fighters we've seen, Oscar De La Hoya, uh, but he had obviously flaws and was beating Chavez. Julio Cesar Chavez could do it all. Roberto Duran could do it all. The Sugar Ray Leonards could do it all. You know, um, but but look, man, it's boxing. Floyd Mayweather, was Floyd Mayweather an all around great boxer? I would be hard to say that Floyd brawled inside. Did Floyd really mix it up inside, say the same way that Roberto Duran could mix it up inside? I think the best all around fighter was probably Roberto Duran. Yes, no one could do it all. Okay, no one could do it all perfectly. That like what they think that Bud Crawford can do it all. That's who they say can do it all. That Bud Crawford can do it all. Like there was a, I'll give Bernard Hopkins was a great boxer. He probably was the best boxer. I think he was better than Floyd Mayweather. Like he could fight on the inside, he could fight on the outside, but a lot of his fights were boring. Go back and watch Bernard Hopkins. A lot of his fights were boring. Well-rounded doesn't mean can do it all. Doing it all means on elite level. Yeah, okay, Quentin, that is true. But it's with anything. You're always gonna be better at one thing, but a great fighter, right? The Durans, the Leonards, Oscar De La Hoyas, super talented speed, power. You're gonna obviously be better at certain things, but you could beat an expert jabber. Like that's how good, like the top of the top of the top of the cream of the creme is. You can beat anybody at any time at their own game. You know what I'm saying? No matter who you face, you're never gonna be outgunned. You're always gonna have things you can do to beat that guy. And right now, they say that Crawford is that guy. But have we seen Crawford? Well, I guess Sean Porter was a test of can he fight inside. When I think of an inside fighter, I think of a guy like Duran and James Toney. Now they could get inside and they could literally fight the whole fight inside. They don't take a step back. It's called fighting in a phone booth, right? They sit there and they just slug it out on the inside. Dipping, shoulder rolling, parrying, but it's all on the inside. Body attacks, overhand rights. You know, and then there's pure, boxing on the outside. Durant could get on a jab and then and stay on the outside the whole fight if that's what he needed to do. So, yeah, Crawford held. So that's what I'm saying. But they say that Crawford is that guy that could do it all. Like I love Virgil Ortiz, but is Virgil Ortiz an all-around fighter? Can he get matched up against a runner like a guy like a Lara, like when Canelo faced Lara, that he's gonna get outran? Yeah, and that's what a great fighter is that even if he goes up against a runner that he doesn't get exposed, that he's not gonna get outran. He's gonna find a way to cut off the ring and beat somebody. Whoa, Crawford beats Virgil now. What, based on that he's an all-around, all-time great fighter? I think it's a 50-50 fight. Yes, Crawford can beat Virgil, but vice versa. Virgil could beat Crawford. But that's saying that Crawford's older, Virgil is bigger. Ortiz did well versus McKinson. Yeah, he did well, but McKinson was probably at a C level when it would take an A level pure boxer to just kind of out jab, grab, spin Virgil around, because Virgil's going to go into seek and destroy. When I talk about all around fighters, guys who could do it all, like Shakira. Shakira is a great outside. He's a great pure boxer, right? But somebody that is going to be able to get inside and beat up his body and eventually wear him down and stop him is gonna do it for him. You're not going to outbox Shakira Twitterson. I think I know who that is. Nobody's doing that, man. I give props to everybody. I'm talking about the entire sport of boxing. I just call it like it is. You know what I'm saying? And people have their feelings. You can't do that to Virgil unless you have power. Yeah, Virgil. I think what you're saying is somebody you mean nobody can dance and run against Virgil for 12 rounds. Yeah, they're going to have enough speed on their punches to keep them honest. But what we can see their flaws in Virgil Ortiz and guys like William Zepeda, just like Subriel Matias. I mean, anybody with eyes, yes, Subriel Matias was a banger. He was an inside fighter. He's gonna club you, but we could see the obvious flaws in his game that if somebody would could you he could out be outboxed. And that's what Liam Paro did. Constantly kept turning him, turning him, turning him. And Liam Paro is no great boxer by any means. But I'm just saying how we hype these guys. Like David Benavidez. David Benavidez is a pressure fighter. He's gonna go on there, lean on you, and club you to death. You know, he just overwhelms you. So but we see the flaw. A good boxer, somebody that can stay on the stick, jab, spin them, turn them, is gonna give him hell of a problems. But that is one thing too, though, Quinn. Yes, Ortiz has a pistol jab. He can crack your face with a jab, and that's one thing about William Zepeda. Excellent, excellent jab, and he finds range with that jab. Like Stank Davis, they're saying he's pound for pound, but is he an all-around fighter? I don't think Stank Davis is an all-around fighter. We see him lose many rounds. I really haven't seen him get pressured and made to fight on the inside. Is that because he's so great, or is that because of his power, or just he hasn't fought anybody that good that can go do that to him? We've seen him have trouble following guys and get out boxed for rounds. Does that mean that he can't box? I'm not saying he can't box, but we see the flaws in Stank Davis. Now, other people are not going to say that. But we can see the flaw. You know, every fighter has a flaw. That's just boxing, right? Every fighter has a flaw. So that's what we're looking for, man. But like Teofimo looks spectacular when someone's coming forward and trying to make a fight with them. But then he has trouble trying to make a fight. You know, the greats, Chavez, Duran, they could do it all. They could come forward, they could fight backwards, you know, they could jab, they can land straights, shoot to the body, uppercuts, you know, they could throw all the punches. We've seen a great fighter, Chocolatito. You know, Chocolatito, when you watch him in his prime, was a great fighter. He could do it all. He could slug, he could box, he could make you look silly, missing punches. You know, he could land punches from distance, using angles. He was really talented. You know, same with Lomachenko, I wouldn't necessarily say he was a guy that could get up inside and bang with you. He was gonna, you know, do a lot of fancy things, you know, a lot of style. Tio's B level. Look, Tio looks great when someone takes the fight to him. But to me, yeah, I guess that would be B levels. Like you gotta be willing and able to do it all. Right? And for the life of me, I don't understand how fighters don't work on these things. You know, but maybe it's the idea of the don't fix what ain't broken. If something works for you, then you just keep doing it. You know what I'm saying? Um, but eventually, if you fight enough fights and you fight the best, someone's gonna beat you and you're gonna get exposed. But you know, that's what makes an all-time great is that they're able to bounce back and do it. But yeah, man, hit the like if you like, you know, Frank Bay boxing talk, and you know, leave some comments. And I'm gonna drop the link one more time. If nobody wants to, you know, what up, Puro Sur, pop on, then you know, I'm just gonna finish up what we were talking about. We were talking about Stank Davis, Lomachenko, Jake Paul, and his highlight reel knockout. I will say this, man. Mike Perry is a tough son of a bitch. But man, these guys cannot fight. Mike Perry looked like a schoolyard kid out there. And he's supposed to be a top level fighter. Now I'm not saying I kick his ass in a fight, but I mean as far as boxing, having a stance, having a jab, having like some kind of defense, you know, I don't get it. What was you see these guys, these MMA guys, they train and they can't fight. Nick Diaz and Magic Ball look like two schoolgirls like trying to grab hair out there. Now they beat me up. But I'm saying if I'm paying money to watch a boxing match, I want to see high level shit out there. You know what I'm saying? And you know, Jake Paul's getting away with putting on YouTube matches, you know, against guys who are supposed to be able to fight. And I highly doubt the Mike Tyson fight come to fruition. I do want to see it.
What do you guys think about that? Do you guys want to see Mike Tyson get flattened? You know what I mean? Because people want to see it because they want to see Paul, see that white boy get his ass handed to him, right? That's why people want to see it. But I don't think Jake Paul's that guy that's gonna do it, man. I mean, I don't think Mike Tyson's the guy that's gonna do it. I don't think he flattens Jake Paul. I mean, Mike Tyson's gonna be dangerous for 15 seconds of all of 2 rounds. I mean, he had to pull out of the fight, man. He's almost 60. He looks like he can barely move. I mean, there's like 30-second clips of him of going crazy against the heavy bag, but it's gonna do numbers. I wish they wouldn't call it boxing because it confuses people. I don't know why they call it boxing. They call these things boxing matches. They should be called backyard brawls. They should be called what we see on the internet, like street beefs or street brawls, because it's not boxing. It's disrespectful. It's disrespectful to boxing to call it boxing. Now, credit he throws Amanda Serrano on there, and she's fighting scrubs, and he had the decent fight was H2O, the prospect versus another prospect. You know, um,
Okay, I think we have, unless he's gonna D-bomb me.
What?
Hello. Hey, what's up, man?
Chilling, man. Chilling, man. What's up?
What's up? What's up? Just talking Jake Paul, Stank Davis, Canelo's next fight. Just whatever is on the people's mind.
What do you think it's gonna be for Tank up next?
I would lay a bet that he stays out the rest of the year.
Tank?
Yeah,
Oh shit, that'll suck.
because I mean he's not gonna fight Barenchik. He's not gonna fight Zepeda. Is he gonna fight Pitbull?
I don't know. I don't know. I don't think he's gonna fight Pitbull. If I had to put some money on it, I would say Zepeda since Lomachenko said he's not fighting until next year. Zepeda's
Yeah,
number one in all the sanctioning bodies, so I think it should be easy to make.
the Oscar said he doesn't want that.
He doesn't want the Zepeda Tank.
He wants to go for Barenchik to get Zepeda a belt first.
Okay, okay. That wouldn't be too bad. That wouldn't be too bad. It should be easy work because that Baranchik guy, he's all he is dirty. He's not even that good.
You say that the Barenchik guy?
Yeah, because I thought he beat even though what's his name? ¿Cómo se llama el güey? Vaquero Navarrete didn't look good. Like to me, they both fought terrible. That Baranchik
Yeah.
guy, man, he's just dirty. That's it, just dirty.
Yeah, yeah, it was a shitty fight. I think the commentators were even saying something about it like this is an awful fight.
Yeah, yeah, and that motherfucker was like uber dirty, but yeah, man. I mean, like it is what it is, you know. Like he took his shot, you know, he missed, but yeah, I don't think he's all that skilled. So I think Cepeda should probably mop the floor with him within 9.
Yeah, that seems like the most logical choice for Williams Zepeda. But just as far as the most logical fight, obviously, and I know you know boxing and you go to different places and listen to different people, but
Yeah,
Shakira Twitterson and Tank Davis, that seems like the most logical. They're both champions. They're both pound for pound. But you know boxing, man. I mean, what is like 10% that that's going to happen?
yeah, and I don't think Shakira wants it, to be honest. Like if he takes that fight, it's like literally the end of his career. I think his career is pretty much done now, but that'll like lit up physically be the end of his career.
Okay, you think that Stank Davis annihilates Shakira
Easily, man. Won't even,
easily?
easily won't even break a sweat, man.
No, I mean after watching the way Shakir fights and just how tentative he is and afraid to let his hands go, I could see Tank Davis just following him around probably 8 9 rounds and then landing a combination and ending it.
Yeah. Well, I mean, for me, Tank's got he's a pretty smart fighter. So as he's chasing him around the ring, he's gonna he's gonna go to the body to slow his ass down, for the later rounds, make it easier for him to take him out of there. But yeah, I think Tank beats the shit out of him.
I mean, I would love to see that fight, but I mean, yeah, I think Shakur Stevenson, he won't take the fight. It don't make no sense for him, right? Like you said, like
Yeah, I don't
it'd be
think
the
so.
end of his career.
Yeah, I don't see it. I don't see it.
So I mean, are you a Tank Davis fan?
Yeah, yeah. He's well, him and Ryan are my favorite fighters.
Oh,
In,
okay. So
in the
so
ring, not out the ring, man. Because out the ring, these guys are goofy.
yeah, yeah. I mean, I guess people say it's selling the fight. It's selling the fight, but to
Yeah,
me, it doesn't sell the fight. You know, the fight should sell the fight, but for the social media crowd, that's who it's for. You know.
yeah. That's what I've been noticing. Because these guys, shit. I mean, they're shit talking and they're shit talking. I mean, I don't know what these guys are doing.
They're just I mean talking shit. We talk shit, right? We get on this YouTube and talk shit.
That's
So
what it sounds like, to be honest. That's exactly what it sounds like. It sounds like they listen to us, and that's what they're doing to sell the fight.
I honestly think they all work together, kind of.
I was thinking that today too, because I was watching, because like Ryan like got into hot water for all the racial epithets and shit,
Yeah,
and then like I think what yesterday or 2 days ago, like him, Keyshawn, and Shakur were on some live or whatever, all chummy and shit. So I don't know. I think you might be right.
yeah. I think like so like I was thinking like the. Did you watch Madrigal and Diaz?
Oh, which one? Who?
Madrimov and Diaz.
Madrimov and Diaz. Madrimov and Diaz. No, I didn't watch that one.
Okay. Or well anyway, it was like a pay-per-view event. Or last night, did you watch Paul and Mike Perry?
I didn't watch the Paul fight, but I did watch that Steve or Stivy guy fight some
Oh,
dude I never heard
Sylvie.
of. Yeah,
Yeah. The guy that got slept.
yeah, and I saw the one right before that, but yeah, I didn't watch Jake Paul.
Well, like I seen, you know, like they probably had an after party, like after the fight, they do these after parties, and I'm sure they're all there together. I think these guys, they all party together, and it's just like probably like friendly competition. They just talk shit, but they're kind of working together.
Yeah,
Like they all see each other. I'm sure they see each other at different places, and they're not fighting each other in the street. You know, I don't think it's like real beef or real. It's promotion. It's literally promotion.
I agree with you. I mean, I've been following Tank and Ryan since they were kids, so yeah, they've all been hanging out ever since they're all little kids. Tio, him, all these guys.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, yeah, I think it's literally for promotion. I think maybe they behind the scenes, I have no proof of this, but they maybe set this all up. Hey, I'm gonna do this, and okay, you do that, and and some of it's real. I'm not saying it's all fake, like it's fake, like WWF. Like the fights aren't fake, the fights are real. But as
Yeah,
far as the promotion goes, it's just it's for promotion. It's like promoting a movie. It's like promoting an album, and it's not like it's like the rap. You know, like how rap beefs. I guess what was it? Kendrick Lamar and
Drake.
Drake. Like it's
Yeah,
all fake, right? Like they're not gonna
yeah.
shoot each other in the street.
No, I doubt that.
Their managers probably talk to each other. You see
I
what I'm
mean,
saying?
yeah, no, I know exactly what you're saying. I remember the build up, or the supposed build up for Devin and Tio and shit. I mean, these guys were on a fucking live, fucking telling the other guy not to forget the coke. I ain't even lying, bro. This shit's on a fucking live.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, because they see each other in Vegas. They probably all party together.
Yeah, man.
It's just like
Uh,
if you go to the gym and you spar somebody, you don't hate that person. I may talk shit to you, but we're not gonna go like take it extra. It's not like we hate each other.
no, for sure. No, I feel you on that one.
What were you gonna say? You gonna say
No, no,
something?
no. You didn't cut me off.
So, so yeah, I mean, so what do you think Tank Davis does next?
I think Zepeda, but if Oscar's
Oh, so
saying,
you're gonna put your money on Zepeda.
I mean, that fight happening, yeah, yeah. I mean, I'm not putting money on that fight. I actually think that's the best fight to be made at 135. Leo had a lot of success versus Tank when they fought until he eventually got knocked out. And Zepeda is just like Leo, but just hits harder.
Yeah.
There's a lot of punches.
I gotta be honest. William Zepeda is still an unknown.
Yeah,
He's
United States.
almost
Yeah, yeah.
well, no, as a fighter, I'm
You think
putting
so?
him in the. Yeah, it's just like I was just saying earlier. Like with Matias, we were all Matias is a. I'm not saying you, but you know the
Mm,
YTBC boxing
yeah.
community. Everybody was just he's a beast. Everybody's ducking him, and he gets exposed by Liam Paro. I
Uh,
mean, Liam Paro was never considered a lead pound for pound fighter, and everybody was saying Matias was this dude. I'm not saying I didn't say it, I did say it, but I knew there were flaws.
mm,
So I'm just trying to pump my brakes with Zepeda. Like, yes, he's a buzzsaw,
mm.
but it's not like he can't be beaten.
No, no, it could definitely be beaten. Just a style. Uh, like he's gonna take some punches. If he fights Tank, that's the thing. Like if he can take Tank's punches, he has a hell of a shot.
Hey, and I've watched one of my favorite fights actually is Tank Davis versus Isaac Cruz
Yeah, I was at that one
because
live.
I mean Isaac Cruz was taking some shots. I mean he took it, he ate some hellacious shots, but he had his gloves up. He was blocking shots,
No, he was.
and it's
Yeah, definitely.
and I'm like, damn, can Zepeda take those shots?
That's the key with Tank, bro. Because Tank's gonna land his shit. You got to be able to either parry him, block him, or take him. Eventually, you got to take him, bro. Because like you have to fucking get close enough to fucking hit this guy.
Yeah, the only way to beat in my opinion, the only way to beat Tank Davis is you have to let your hands go. You're gonna have to really be risk getting knocked out. Like Frank Martin got knocked out. He was doing okay, but you could tell as the fight was going, he didn't want to let his hands go. He
Yeah,
he was almost
he
terrified.
did it. He did it. He did it, and he definitely got into his head. I thought that was going to be a really good fight, but no, that fight underwhelmed, man. He got into that guy's head, and it was over, man.
You weren't impressed by that. Everybody's saying he's top. Tank Davis is top five pound for pound now for beating Frank Martin.
I mean, I'm a huge Tank Davis fan, but I don't have him on my pound for pound.
Oh wow! I mean, Paulie Malignaggi, Teddy Atlas, all the boxing heads, they all say he's top five pound for pound now.
Yeah, because they want to force upon an American star and shit, bro. They don't, you know, like it's American,
That's
American,
true.
American and shit. That's what I see.
Yeah, no, when I say these things, I say in tongue in cheek, but I mean, just as far as like mainstream, um, I don't even like saying the word casuals anymore. I guess I just mean like, I guess people who don't follow boxing like hardcore, like obviously the people in the chat, the sergeants, the pounds, you, the purosurs, you know. Um, so you don't even have them in your pound for pound?
Nah, and then I was been thinking throughout the years that I've been on YouTube since the pandemic hit, and since like this new generation came through, it's hard to have like a top 10 just for me. Like I stop at 5, and after 5, it's like really hard to put
Pointless.
two.
I don't even do
Yeah,
it. I don't even do pound for pound. I think it's kind of ridiculous.
yeah.
It,
Nowadays
it,
it
it
is.
its popularity, especially since they don't fight often. I mean, how can I keep a guy pound for pound and he's not going to fight for over a year like Bud Crawford?
Yeah, yeah. I'm a Bud fan as well. I think he's a hell of a fighter. But yeah, man, once a year, bro, it's kind of hard.
That's the thing. I mean, look, man, you're great. I mean, I'll give you your credit for your wins, your victories. You're great, but it's just like Tank Davis. What can I do if he doesn't fight for the rest of the year? Because
Facts. And
uh,
then the opposition that he's fighting too. Like I thought Frank was definitely one of the top lightweights out there. Top lightweight contenders. I'll say. But I mean, like shit, man. It was a walk in the park.
I don't know if it was a walk in the park. I think Frank Martin gave him some problems, but at the end of the day, Frank Martin forgot how to box.
Hmm.
He it's like his feet got crossed up because he kept getting in the corner.
Yeah.
And I'm screaming, I'm watching the fight, I'm screaming like, what the fuck, you stop, why are you just standing along the ropes? And then you hear his trainer before the knockout, get the fuck off the ropes, what the fuck is your problem? um And that's why I hate when everybody hypes these trainers. Remember Derek James? He's getting all he's such a good trainer. Da 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 da. He had like a run, right?
Yeah.
Everybody was crowning him, and now look, his fighter gets beat, and now you know Errol Spence fires him. So you really gotta take everything with a grain of salt with these trainers. But Frank Martin, um, yeah, man, he just laid against the ropes and let Tank Davis pound on him. It was insane.
Yeah, yeah. No, like I said, I thought he got into his head, and intimidated him a bit, and yeah, man. I mean, like to me, I didn't see I missed the first two rounds. Like round three and on, it was all Tank.
Yeah, I think Frank Martin he landed a couple significant punches, but what they say he was already 29 and he started boxing late, so kind of the inexperience was going to be a problem. It was a good win. It was a highlight reel knockout, but I got hyped because after the fight he talks about Lomachenko, and then we hear Lomachenko. They're actually talking, and they did. When did you see it? Did you just see it the other day, like I seen it? That Loma
Yeah,
said he doesn't want it.
yeah, yeah. He says he's gonna take the rest of the year off. He didn't say he didn't want it, but he just said he's gonna take the rest of the year off.
So what'd you think when you heard that? What was your first thought?
Um, Next, pretty much.
Really? What are people saying? I haven't really been listening. Are people saying Loma's ducking?
I mean, you got the Lomos saying that Tank did whatever to
Lomos.
fuck up the fight, and you got the like the fucking Tank Dick Riders fucking saying that this guy's ducking him now. So at the end of the day, I'm kind of was like past that fight already. If it happened, cool. That'd have been a cool fight. But it
Yeah.
sounds like it's not happening. So on to the next, man.
It to me is a big disappointment because I was looking forward to it. I'm like, okay, yeah, Loma is older. Tank Davis should be to me was going to be the heavy favorite because Loma's older. Um, but I thought Loma could probably beat him. Did you think Loma had a chance?
Yeah, yeah, definitely. I think it would because of his old, because he's up there. I mean, Tio beat him and shit, and I think fucking Tank excuse me, mops the floor with fucking Tio. Any version of him. Maybe like the Tio that fought against Josh Taylor gives him some problems. Maybe it ends up being a good fight. But just where he is in his career and shit, he's probably all dejected because he got robbed by Devin
Yeah.
and shit like that. It's like I don't know. It's just where they're at in their career. I was just kind of past it. But yeah, definitely. I was never a big Lomachenko fan. I was actually a Lomo hater for a cool minute.
Oh,
But the beef is over, and he's a really good fighter though. So I think if Tech doesn't knock him out, it would have won 12. I think it would have been a good fight.
well, I mean, shit, man. If Broly Romero can win 3, 4 rounds from Stank Davis, you don't think Loma could win 6 rounds? Loma could easily win 6 rounds
Yeah,
versus Tank Davis.
I think so. Yeah, yeah, for sure, for sure. Yeah, the best Loma that would see, and I think we would. The only thing is that with like Roly, like that's the one thing about Tank. If you have power, like he, I wouldn't say he's scared, but he's like tentative. Like the first time I seen that is when he fought Mario Barrios. Like at the post fight press conference, he was like, "Shit, he hit hard. That's why it took me a little while to figure him out." Shit like that. So I think you can. I wouldn't say intimidate him, but like if you have power, he's cognizant of it. Like he won't just like he'll come in there. He'll like bore it out a little bit, at the beginning until he
Yeah,
gets you until he figures you out. Then he starts going to work. But yeah, definitely a guy with power. You need somebody with power for Tank.
that's yeah. Obviously, because Tank Davis is gonna, he's gonna walk you down and he's gonna try to get you out of there. But yeah, he's not a brawler. He's not gonna go out there and wing punches at you. He's very selective. Even with Ryan, right? Decimated Ryan. He
Yeah.
wasn't necessarily going into trade. Yeah, Tank Davis is not gonna trade with you. Um,
Nope.
but with Lomachenko, yeah, man, that was gonna be a hell of a match. I was on the fence about it though, because I'm like, okay, if Loma beats Tank Davis, then he's an all time great. Like he's gonna go cemented as an all time great.
Yeah,
It's just
I
my
would
opinion.
agree with you. No, I would have agreed with you. No,
But
that's
if Tank Davis beats Loma, I already know he's the number one pound for pound. He's the face of boxing. I mean, they're gonna make it like the best win of the last 20 years. So I'm like,
facts.
damn, man. Um, but
Facts.
we already know that he waited how many years? 6 years for Lomachenko?
It's been a while since 130.
Yeah, I mean, look, we have to be honest. Floyd Mayweather did come out and say when fans were pushing for the fight or the media was pushing the fight, Mayweather literally he's on tape or he made a statement talking about leave Tank alone. That's
Hmm.
literally what he said.
You know, shit. Now I remember.
Um, so now we know, but that's how boxing is, right? Look, we know boxing is about you build your prospect, you build your fighter, right? So who's on the cusp right now? Is Keyshawn Davis?
At 135?
No, just across the board. Like
Oh, who's on the cusp?
the elite, no, Diego Pacheco, Keyshawn Davis are
I
on
think
the cusp
Keyshawn's on the
of.
cusp.
He is
Uh,
though. He's on the cusp. Like it's make or break. It's
Bruce
make or
Carrington,
break.
I think, is on the cusp, but even
He
though
okay.
he's
Yeah.
still like, he's still barely getting started. He hasn't even been in a fight where it's like, like, oh shit, okay, this is a
Well,
test fight.
he's already 28, but yeah, he's on the cusp, right?
Bruce Carrington's
So
28.
he's up there. He's 25 or
Oh shit,
26.
I didn't know he was
No,
that old.
did I say 28? No, I
Yeah,
meant he's 25. He's already older. He's not
but
like
still,
21.
25. Yeah, 25 is still pretty.
He's not where like that guy at Abdullah Mason is at. Like he's not on the cusp yet. He's still a work in progress.
I think Munguia's on the cusp.
What? Well, he's a finished product, Brody.
No, I mean on the cusp of like stardom.
Oh, I think he's already a star, maybe superstardom.
Yeah, maybe that is just, and then
Oh,
he's like what, 23?
Mongia?
Yeah,
No, I think Mungia is already
Munguia's
26. When he
young buck,
started, he
bro.
was 19.
Nah,
When he fought
I'm almost
when he
100% certain he's fucking a youngster, bro.
he's young in age, old in boxing.
Okay, he's 27. 27. Okay.
Yeah, Carrington is 27. Mungia is, I think, Mungia is young. You would think
Munguia's
he's older
27.
because
No, Munguia's 27.
okay. So let's say Diego Pacheco, Keyshawn Davis are on the cusp. So at this point in their careers, they need a older fighter to feed on.
Yeah.
That's the sport of boxing, right? Like Boots Ennis. Boots Ennis is past the cusp. He's probably like there, but he needs that name. But it's still, if you're a manager or a promoter, you want an older fighter, an older name fighter that can put you over.
All right.
So where Carrington is at, right? So Carrington, he's at what, 130 or
He's at
126, right?
126. 126.
He's at 126. So who's an older name? I don't have my phone with me. An older name at 126 he can feed on. Because I think at Newey's too soon. You'll ruin his career.
Newey ruined his career.
So you need a name. You need food. You need an older fighter right now to feed on. Because it's rare. Like we just seen so the rarity is like we just seen like Floyd Schofield was supposed to fight that H2O guy.
Yeah.
Right?
The one that just got knocked out and shit.
Yeah, and Floyd Schofield's probably kicking himself now that he pulled out. but we rarely get prospect versus prospect or guys on the cusp, because that's the way it should be, right? The guys on the cusp should fight each other to prove who goes to the. So we just seen with that Shiraz and Ammo Williams.
Mm-hmm.
Did you see that fight?
Yeah, I did.
So that was a fight like probably shouldn't have happened, but it happened because of the situation, because it was a big time card. So their promoters were willing to risk it. So those were two prospects where they could have probably went in different directions. But anyway, you get what I'm saying, man.
Yeah.
Sure. So, damn, dude, what's my original point?
What happened?
No,
you're trying to. You're trying to
So
who could you put in for like Shushu, like his next opponent?
yeah, somebody just said Ray Vargas would be food for him. Ray Vargas is tough though. He'll ruin Carrington. He needs an
Yeah,
older fighter. Somebody
that's
like
fair.
it's usually an ex-champion. So like Keyshawn said on
Dog
Pedraza,
Bay.
that would be the name, ex-champion, older. Oh, because I was talking about where Loma, what Tank is trying to do with Loma, is
Mm.
how boxing works. Is you feed on the older champion ready to go. And and I mentioned Canelo, right? I said, okay, Canelo, did he do that? Did he do that with Sergey? Was Sergey the older guy ready to be food? Or but I said, but when Canelo did that with Kovalev, he was still a champion. He wasn't
It was.
he wasn't baited like food.
Yeah, no, like
So
with
oh,
With Canelo, they built him right. You know, like they didn't give him like an. Well, I mean, maybe early on in his career they gave him like Shane.
exact. Those are the examples.
Yeah,
And I
yeah,
just I just got a great example. Damn, then it just left my brain. Who it was just oh, when Shakir was coming up, they fed him herring.
yeah. Herring. They fed him herring. Yeah,
That was his name to put him over. The older champion, faded champion that you knew was ready to go and was ready to cash out.
yeah, yeah. Definitely. I would say for Carrington, Dog Bay. Even though that would be a fucking tough ass fight because Dog Bay is a tough ass motherfucker.
Yeah, Dogbay's a grinder, dude. He's like a Robinson, man. Those type of guys, bro, those kind of guys, man, are always in it until like you literally got to beat them brain dead.
Yeah.
Those are the
There's
kind of
just
guys.
one. Oh, go ahead. Go ahead.
No, finish.
Well, there's just one fighter at 126. Fuck, man, this guy's I'm gonna say like he's 33 right now, but like back when he was younger, he was a really good fighter. Goes by the name of Kameda. Him and his brother were really good. They could like that'd be like a perfect one. Ex
The
champion.
Asian guys are they
Yeah,
Asian?
it's
Yeah,
Japanese.
yeah. Oh, Kopi or Cope? Is it
Tomoki.
is that a Moki Kameda? Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
Those are the kind of guys, the food that you need for that next level. When you're building a fighter. Uh, but yeah, man. Back so like Diego, I think he's fighting Sulecki. Diego Pacheco's fighting Sulecki.
Sulecki. Okay, all right.
So
He's not a former champion. He sucks as he's always sucked. But hey, he's like a
well,
fighter to put
yeah.
everybody in there with.
Pretty soon Diego's gonna need his and Billy's getting Dervinchenko. So
Yeah.
that's gonna be his ex champion with the name. Wait, Dervinchenko's never was
No, he's never been
Dervinchenko
a
a
champion.
champion?
He's never been a
But he's always been getting those shots though. Like he might as well
he
be.
beat
He's
Triple
fought
G
everybody.
in my opinion. He beat Triple G in my opinion, but no, he's never been.
Yeah. So like that's the only thing. But just taking it back to Tank Davis is like I didn't want Loma to be his food, you know, because we know Loma's older. It
Uh-huh.
it just is what it is, and it wouldn't be. We know he avoided Lomachenko, and he's only choosing Lomachenko because he's older, and probably they seen that his heart's not in it anymore.
Yeah, he's also a champion too, so there's a unification there.
Oh, for Loma being a champion,
Yeah,
that's the other tricky thing too is that Loma, yeah, you don't want to fight, but you're a champion,
yeah,
so you really can't be like I'm gonna sit here and hold my belt and I don't want to fight because all 135 is a hot division. You got all these guys, Keyshawn Davis, Murataya. You got so now is another example, right? Murataya got Tevin Farmer. That's his older
yep.
champion. And he didn't look good. I forgot. Nobody said anything about Murataya. He did not look good. Bad look for Murataya, but
I don't know. I thought he fought well. I thought I mean like I thought Tevin Farmer fought the way he always fights. He's a tough out. I thought Murataya did very well. I thought he won the fight
really,
outright as well
I guess I was just looking for Murataya to look spectacular.
to get him
You
out of there.
know,
No, I hear you. Sometimes
I
we get used, and I think ever since he blasted out the top prospect out of Mexico, and then he also blasted out Dacatilia, I think we're just like expected a lot more out of him, and he's kind of like stagnated a bit.
Yeah, he looked listless. I mean, you said he looked good. My
Yeah,
eyes,
I thought
I
he.
didn't. I just didn't see any snap or on the punches.
Hmm.
Pound said Pacheco versus Beck the Bully. Yeah, but Beck is too dangerous right now. Beck couldn't put your lights out. Pacheco needs an older faded. He needs somebody safer.
I think
That
that's easy
that'd
work
be
for Pacheco, to be honest.
Beck the Bully. Nah,
Yeah,
Beck is.
Beck is
I
easy,
like Beck
bro.
the Bully, bro.
Not Beck. I
Uh,
mean, I got nothing against him, bro, but like Pacheco, fuck him up, bro. That's how I see it.
no, no, no. I hear what you're saying, but I just
Yeah.
don't. I don't like it for Pacheco. I would go with the more um somebody you could probably beat more assuredly. That's just that's just my take. But
Yeah. I hear you.
but so shit, man. So Stank David, what do you think about the other topic I have? I'm gonna
Mm,
switch gears. Canelo Alvarez, man. Are
mm.
you still on the train? Are you off the train? Or
I'm always gonna be
um
on the train, bro. I mean, like
okay,
literally,
okay.
like even when he's like not doing anything, he's like doing shit. Like he's like literally carrying the sport. He's been carrying the sport since fucking God knows how long. You
Okay,
know, constantly
let's
giving us the fights I want to see at least. You know.
I'm just gonna play devil's advocate
Mm,
with you, bro. I'm gonna put you in the corner. So do you
mm,
think David Canelo's ever gonna happen? How are
mm,
you feeling?
yes. I think it's probably gonna happen next.
What? Are you hearing something that we're not?
No, it's just that I've been because I predicted the Munguia fight was going to happen and it happened, and ever since I predicted the Munguia fight, I said that Benavidez is going to be next. So until Benavidez signs to fight somebody else, or Canelo you know like passes like next May without fighting him, or September, because I did call September. Then yeah, I think I still got Canelo and Benavidez coming up.
And that's when November, December.
Probably around there because I think it's September. I mean, that's what I've been reading is that excuse me, that he's gonna fight like some tune-up. It's probably gonna be Eubank or Berlanga, and then it'll probably be Benavidez.
All in this year. So he's gonna fight a tune up in September, and then David right back in November or December. Probably more
Yep.
like December.
Yeah. I think that's where it's gonna go. I'm hearing things that he's gonna fight Crawford, in lieu of Benavidez, but that's a fight if I knew Canelo, I'd be like, don't take that fight.
Don't take who the Crawford fight.
Yeah, because I mean I didn't want to see it, but it's just like the sheer like that literally like a break fucking records and shit, because people are dumb. But the thing is
Yeah.
with Ryan and Conte and all them, bro, I don't trust these fucking guys, bro. Like Canelo whips his ass, and
Mm,
then next thing you know, fucking he pops dirty for something, bro. I just don't like it, bro. I don't know. I get a
that
bad
that's
feeling, man.
yeah.
I get
You're
a bad
looking at it
feeling.
from the yeah. You're taking the I forget the term, but you're looking at it from different angles.
Yeah. Well, I mean, Canelo's already been he's already been punished before. Back when he busted for clenbuterol back in the day, and that was Mauricio's doing. I just didn't. I don't want that to happen again.
No, I hear what you're saying. I mean, let's be honest. Crawford and Canelo is a fantasy fight.
Yeah, yeah. I mean,
And Crawford's only getting it because he's the American, African American fighter, and they believe he's like Sugar Ray Leonard and Muhammad Ali all in one, right? Because they don't have anybody else. You
yeah,
know what I'm
yeah.
saying?
He used to have Earl,
And
not no more.
and Turkey Ali really likes Terrence Crawford too, I guess. So
Yeah,
he
wanted to put
go ahead.
Benavidez and him together. I'm sorry, I cut you off.
No, no, no. Turkey Ali really likes Crawford, so he's America's favorite son right now, and they're really getting behind him because after um Terrence Crawford, who does American boxing have?
Bam.
Well, you know what I mean as far as like um No, Bam, I don't think is he's too small right now. Like the weight class
Yeah,
for
I mean, yeah, I was thinking that the other day, like Bam had like a humongous win, like a huge win, and like people already forgot.
yeah, yeah. I mean, look, I love Bam Rodriguez and I love watching a fight, but I'm talking about from a like selling like fucking Jordans and commercials, NBA, NFL. So, Americans want the next they want the next Michael Jordan, they want the next Mike Tyson, they want the next Sugar Ray Leonard. Right now, the closest they have to that is like Terrence Crawford. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, and I would say Tank.
Yeah, and then even Tank though, but he's still. I think Americans they like 147 and 160 pounders. You know what I
Mm,
mean?
I hear you.
Uh, those are pretty much the glamour divisions because that's where the Marvin Haglers, Sugar
Sugar
Ray
Ray.
Leonards, Tommy Hearns. The
Yeah.
even Roberto Duran had to go all the way up and fight those guys.
No,
Oscar was there, Tito was there, so Mayweather was there, so you know
Vargas.
um, Fernando Vargas, yeah, Shane Mosley. So I think Americans, as far as just American boxing fans and like casual boxing fans, they kind of gravitate towards those weight classes just because historically that's the way it's been. So I think they really believe Terrence Crawford can beat Canelo, and you think now you don't think he can beat Canelo. You're just saying it. They they'll do some funny business to make it happen.
I think he has the skill set, but like, I mean, just not even like Canelo only beat the guys that he beat because they like gradually moved him up. Like in between the big fights, they put him in like like the Reggie champ, like with Rocky Fielding, to see how he did at that weight
Yeah,
class. He moved back down. Like they moved him up gradually. It's not like he wants to do it, bro. Like Crawford's only elite win is Errol Spence. Like that's it. I mean, like it's bro, it's just and then like thanks, man. And then then there's like I guess like the overlooking factor. Like Canelo's not the type of guy to overlook. Like Canelo wouldn't overlook me.
yeah. Canelo lives, eats, breathes, and sleeps boxing.
Yeah, it's gonna be a motherfucker, bro. I mean, I mean, if the fight would happen, I could see like Canelo just getting into the zone. It's like, okay, I didn't have my chance to avenge my loss to Mayweather. This is my Mayweather right here. This is a motherfucker that says gonna whoop my ass, and I'm I'm gonna make sure that this guy fucking goes to sleep, in this
Yeah,
fight. So there's no doubts, bro.
that's a great point too, because anytime you talk to anybody, especially American boxing fans, and you talk about Canelo Alvarez, and it's like they give him his credit, but they always say, "Oh, but he lost to Mayweather." They always want to rub that in your face, like, "Okay, fine, whatever."
Yeah,
He was
you
young.
lost to
You
him.
know the arguments, huh?
Yeah, I won a lot of money, bro. I bet a bunch of my buddies, because everybody jumps on the hype train. I've been guilty of it myself, bro. But everybody was on that hype train, because they just want to
Canelo
Mayweather
beating
loop.
Mayweather.
Yeah,
Oh, right, right, right. I mean,
I didn't even
shit.
go to the
I
bookies, bro. I just bet all my buddies. I bet all my family, bro. I'm like,
you
he
knew
wasn't ready.
Canelo wasn't
Yeah,
gonna beat that guy.
he wasn't ready. He just wasn't ready.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, the catch weight, Mayweather being, he was good. I mean, we got to give the
Yeah,
man his credit.
yeah,
But I mean, how long? When was that? Like 10 years ago?
yeah. It was
Like
a
10 years?
long, long,
10 years ago, right? So Canelo's progressing his career. Now it's like, what? That's an excellent point. It's like Mayweather all over again. And actually, you just kind of like hammered my point home. I was saying is like that's what they think this guy is, Terrence Crawford. And I'm with you. I want to see it because I want to see him knock Terrence head into the third row, so
yeah,
we can put all that shit to rest.
no,
Like
for sure. And
he's the
I think
greatest.
sucking his dick like Cropper's dick, like, oh, he's a generational this, generational that. So
Exactly.
that's why I want to see the fight. It's like, all right, cool. Like, leaves no doubt who's gonna be the number one pound for pound of this generation, and who's the generational talent of this generation, bro. Just leave all doubt.
Yeah, no, and that's what I'm saying is like, but you already know they're not going to give Canelo's credit. You already know that.
Oh yeah,
It's
no, yeah, that's they've been taking away Canelo's credit since he was an amateur, bro.
oh yeah, yeah. You can't win any. any Canelo conversation now, right now, as far as the boxing community goes, as far as like boxing YouTube pages or social media. I don't know if you're on Twitter. Like, let's keep it 1,000%. Because I know you, Pure. You know me. We've been in these streets, and we know how it goes. So we kind of already know the rhetoric,
Mm-hmm.
and I think one time I was on if you remember Rap Star.
Mm-hmm.
Shout out Rap Star. No, but I think he booted you because you were talking about Canelo, and
Yeah, a
he's
while
been a
back,
hate
bro. Yeah,
he's been
beta
a
star.
hater lately. So we already
He's
know.
a wannabe H Money, bro. Like ever since
But
like
that's
he
what I want to
fucking
talk about. Uh-huh.
no, look, cause I remember, cause like I remember like shit. I remember there was a point where like fuck, bro, like H was gone for like a year, bro. And then Rapstar was like, I remember being on Rapstar. He would go live, and then Rapstar would just like show fights and shit. And I would help him out showing fights or whatever. And
Uh-huh.
then H Money came back or whatever. And then like, I guess he stopped. I don't know. I lost track of what Rapstar was doing or whatever. But then like, I just started going to his lives, and you could just tell he's like, okay, he's just trying to like, he's just trying to be it as best he can, fucking to be H Money and shit. You know, that's
For
just
clicks and
how he is.
views.
Yeah.
Yeah, because
I'm not disrespecting Rastar. He does his thing. He has his community. It's cool. But I'm saying lately though, and because I think I was actually there and I heard him boot you,
Mhm.
and he just got he since then he's totally done a 360 and he hates Canelo Alvarez and all because of David Benavidez talk. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's why everybody hates him now, man. Fuck out of here.
so that's what so you as a fan and me kind of being the devil's advocate. So
Hmm.
what if he fights Berlanga or Eubanks? How do you defend that? Do you defend it? Do you just say like what I'm saying? I'm saying Canelo does what the fuck he wants and I accept it. Because I know you go to, I want to hear what you say to these people that are just got their pitchforks out and want to hang Canelo from the rafters.
Well, I mean, like, they're into their rhetoric or whatever, bro. But I mean, like, when Bud
Their
fought,
narrative, right? The
yeah,
narrative.
the narrative or whatever. When Bud fought, Avanesian, everybody defended his ass, blah blah blah.
Thank you.
This, that's
Yep.
that. Like, Bud's fighting Madrimov right now, bro. Like, come on, fucking the guy with like 10 fights and shit.
And that's what I'm saying. I'm like, look, I'm a boxing fan. I'll never be accused of not being a boxing fan, but I'm not buying it. Like, look, yeah, it's a good fight because we're hardcore, but don't nobody know who the fuck this Madrimov guy is. Who the fuck knows who this guy is? And Puro. And I gotta ask you too. And I know you go different places. I know you're very well known in the community. And I know you talk to even, you won't just go to Canelo. They call us Canelo fanboys, I guess, but you listen to even people against your perspective, right?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah. And I think everybody should. I'm not gonna say the names. Like Rap Stars hates Canelo 20. It's a Canelo hate channel. Just know that.
No, it's all good. I'm not even tripping on those channels too, bro. It's just
no. But
it's
I'm
boring.
like, I like
perspective,
exactly. I actually like to listen to people who disagree with me. And that's why I dropped the link because I'm like, I don't want to hear people just like everybody say the same thing. You know what I'm saying? But if he fights, huh?
No, I said for sure. Yeah, yeah.
So if he fights Eubanks or if he fights Berlanga, what do you say? Like, how can you go to other places or channels or social media, Twitter, Instagram? You're gonna see all the hate. How do you, as a Canelo fan, say, hey, wait a minute, man, you're looking at this all wrong? Or are they right? Is he ducking Benavidez? I mean,
To be honest, like, depending on whose channel I'm on, I won't even have the argument, bro. Because I mean, they're gonna be set on saying Canelo. I mean, they've been saying Canelo's a duck, bro. I mean, if when Canelo fights Benavidez and beats the ever living shit out of him, it's gonna be David Morrell. Then after David Morrell, it's gonna be fucking the next guy and the next guy and the next guy until he retires.
Yeah, look, man, I talk about it because what else is there to talk about, right? Like the news was Jake Paul, Mike Perry, Tank Davis, Lomachenko, and now who it always comes back to Canelo Alvarez, right? Like now who is he gonna fight next? Because no matter who he fights, whether they like it or not, these hater channels or social media personalities, they're gonna talk about him. So that's why I accepted it, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like they're gonna talk about him. Right?
I mean, He pays the bills, bro.
Yeah, what else are you gonna talk about? Just like we seen with the Ryan hate, right? Okay, Ryan dropped M bombs. He said nasty things. He was trashing babies' mama's houses. But but are they talking about him or not?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, what else? What else is there to talk about?
I mean, there's nothing.
Are you gonna
It's the
talk
most
about
famous, bro.
Crawford Madrimov? Like, is that how you're gonna keep your channel afloat? Is that how you're gonna keep the conversation going? Like,
I know, shit. One doesn't speak English, the other one doesn't say a word.
look, me personally, I'm not gonna defend Canelo Alvarez. I'm not gonna hate him. I like the Berlanga fight. Call me fucking insane, but I want to see Berlanga get his head knocked off. How do you feel about that?
Um, cool. I'm down with it. Like if they announce
He said,
Berlanga,
fuck it.
yeah, if they announce Berlanga next, rest in peace, Berlanga, bro. Whoop his ass, move on to the next. I was actually thinking the other day because I remember William Skoll he was next on the rotation or whatever.
Yeah,
I actually think Canelo should have fought him like in July, in this month. You know, got rid of him quick, and then in September,
right.
you know, because then that'll get that fucker out of the way, satisfy that mandatory, and then he's free to just pick whoever he wants in September, instead of having to like juggle. I might have to fight this guy, I might have to fight that guy. I would have just made him a little tune-up.
And it goes all back to the same. Canelo does what the fuck Canelo Alvarez wants.
Especially since he runs his own career, he's his own promotional outfit. So
I mean, really, think about it, right? Eddie Hearn can't tell him what to do. Bob Arum can't tell him what to do. Al Heyman can't tell him what to do. And this new guy, Turkey Ali, can't tell him what to do.
Nope.
Nobody in boxing can do that. And what I was saying earlier, and you can tell me if I'm right or wrong. I mean, look, man, like I said, boxing is hella slow right now, right? That was like my rant of the day. Right now, it's really slow. There's really not much to talk about. It's kind of dead. I think only Clarissa Shields is fighting this week, and then the other fight is 2 weeks away. So, it's really slow, really dead. And it's like, who's not doing is Tio fighting? Like, isn't Tio fighting who he wants? Didn't Shakur just fight who he wants? Tank Davis, we haven't heard of what he's doing. He's gonna fight who he wants. David Benavidez, is he in a rush to fight a killer? He's gonna fight who he wants. So who's like really not fighting who they just want to fight?
Yeah, like lately, that seems like what it is.
Look, man, like I know everybody is on Better Be than Bivol Dick, right? Oh, they're gonna fight. Well, how long did that take? It took like 2 years, and then it's been postponed, and we don't even know if it's gonna happen, and it's on pay-per-view. And what have those guys done to sell us a pay-per-view fight? Like, I know we're hardcores and everybody's, being hipsters, but like, really, girl, what have they done to sell us a fight?
I mean, it's on pay-per-view.
I think it's pay-per-view. Maybe they'll throw us a bone.
I hope so, because like nobody knows who those fuckers are.
Really, in reality, right? That's what I said.
Like, was a piece, but nobody knows who he is. Bivol less.
I mean, in reality,
a whole year off because he's like fucking scared to fucking take a rematch with fucking Canelo.
Yeah, I said that the sad thing about boxing is like the best thing we have to look forward to, and they're relatively no names, is Virgil Ortiz and Sergey Bokachik.
Yeah, it's gonna be a good one.
Now that's a banger, but I mean,
Pitbull and Rayo, I think it's gonna be a very good fight as well.
Oh yeah, but Rayo's best win was a blown up Colbert, and Pitbull's best win was Rolly Romero.
True.
So,
well, I mean, some would say he beat Tank. I had the fight a draw. Me personally, could have gone either way.
Yeah. So even with those fights, man, Canelo news steals the headlines. Tank Davis is a little behind Canelo, but he gets more hype because it's American. But so with this, we're in the 7 month, half the year. What are you looking forward to for the next year, for the rest of the year, Perot?
Well, I'm looking forward to seeing who Canelo fights, like the big, the big fights. I'm looking forward to this Pitbull and Ryo fight because I'm gonna be going to it.
Oh, you're gonna
By
be
the
at the fights.
Yeah, I'm gonna be at the
Salute.
fight. Yeah. By the way, Compa Pounds, are you gonna be there or what? Um, what else am I looking forward to? I'm looking forward to the fights that can be made at 126. Angelo Leo is
Okay.
fighting
Yeah,
Venado. I think
Venado.
Venado's
Yep.
gonna whip the ever living shit out of him.
He
But
should.
Angelo Leo's is like he's inexperienced, like he won a title quickly and then fucking they fed him to Fulton or whatever. But he's a pretty good fighter, so he could surprise and give Venado a good fight. But I still think Venado wins. But I definitely want to see these guys at 126 fight because these guys. I mean, like the guy El Divino Espinosa. Obviously,
Yeah,
Venado Lopez, and you got fucking Ray Vargas there. Who else you got there? You got Bronco Lara there still. I mean, 126 is fucking fire, bro.
it is. It is. It's too bad. I think, and it's everything's separate. Like all the belts are separate right now, and then you
Well,
got a
not
Nui
Venado and
possibly.
Robesi. Excuse me, not Venado, Robesi, and they're all in top rank.
Well, I mean, like there's no unified champs. Like there's like
Oh,
four
okay,
champs.
okay.
And then you got a Nui in the hunt. Like he could possibly move up. Like that. So
Okay.
and then yeah, 135, you have four champions, right?
Yep. Yep.
154 is heating up. You have four champions. Um shit.
You
Well,
still
and
got the
then who
best
can
champion there that fucking went nuts and shit. That's the fight I really want to see.
wait, say that again?
Like the best fighter at 154 is still there too. Like he hasn't lost there since he became undisputed. He just went nuts.
Who are you talking about? You're
Jermel,
confusing me.
Jermel,
Oh, well,
Jermel.
I mean,
To
look,
me, it's like hands down. It's not even a question who, like, he's the best fighter at that fucking weight class, bro. I mean, before
yeah,
until
are you
Canelo
are
beat the
you
shit out of him, bro. I mean, like,
yeah,
it
I
wasn't even
mean, I
close.
guess you could give him a chance. But yeah, he's nuts. He's MIA. Well, both of them are. They're both MIA. And PBC don't have any dates. I think they have one date coming up. McCamby and Caleb Plant. I mean, whoa, let's throw a party for that.
I mean, I don't
Um,
know what.
no David news. What is it? David even gave a hint of what's he's gonna do next the rest of the year?
I mean, he asked for an extension. Let's see where we at. Almost August. I mean, Canelo's gonna have to. It's gonna announce a fight soon. I'm pretty sure. So, I think maybe in an hour. Excuse me. Like I don't know.
Yeah, Tim Zoo is coming back. They said either Jesus Ramos or Lubin, so that should be good.
Yeah, I think they're
Fedor's,
saying Lubin. No, that's what I'm hearing.
I
That's
think
what
he's the
that's what
front runner.
Carl. That's what Carl the Croc was telling me.
I read Lubin and Jesus Ramos, but Lubin is probably the front runner, and I
Oh,
think
like either or the rematch.
no, it's either or.
Or
It's
either or.
Lubin the favorite, and Jesus Ramos could possibly be the opponent, but it's looking more like Eric Lubin
Yeah, more
or
than
Tim
likely to
Zoo,
be Lubin. Yeah, and
and
Tim Zill's gonna
then
beat the ever shit out of the guy.
Earl Spence and Fundora was rumored. They said October. We don't know. So, and then you got Better Be a B-Ball. You got Fury, Usyk rematch, but that's not till December. And you got Joshua Dubois,
Okay.
which, I mean, I don't know how you feel. I don't really follow that Joshua guy. Dubois, it's kind of like it's a pay-per-view match. It's kind of a middling match.
I mean, AJ should fuck him up, but
Yeah, you should.
Dubois, as of late, I mean, like, yeah, he ended up quitting versus Usyk, but I mean, like in my head, like everybody's like, yeah, he quit, yeah, okay, whatever. But like at the end of the day, bro, like he knocked the fucking guy out, and they fucking like they gave him like they called it a low blow. Like at the end of the day, he's like, okay, I can't. My only way to beat this guy, because I'm not gonna beat him on the cards, is to knock him out. They just told me you ain't knocking this guy out. We're not gonna let you. So what else is he supposed to do?
Yeah. Yeah, no, I thought it was legit, but yeah, he got robbed. I mean, people argue about it for hours and hours, but Du Bois, he looked good his last fight.
Yeah,
So
he
I
did.
think,
He did
and
against
we
Gargano.
know AJ has issues, so it should be a fun, entertaining fight. I'm
I
just
think so.
saying, as far as like as far as scale, magnitude,
Mhm.
I don't think it's a a big event, not like a
Well,
shut down
yeah.
the block event.
I mean,
You
in
know
England,
the
yeah, in England because they love the fucker
oh well
over
yeah
there, you know.
yeah yeah
Yeah,
yeah
yeah.
over there.
Like as in terms of like the matchup, yeah, no, I hear you.
The only big fight we had this year was Haney Garcia. That really well. I mean, from my perspective, I know people loved Usyk and Fury, but that was more of a European thing.
Mhm.
If I'm just speaking from my perspective, us as being over here in America and the
Yeah.
way we follow boxing,
I thought
um,
Canelo Munguia was big as well,
it was big.
and I
It,
thought
it, it
Munguia fought fucking awesome too. I ain't gonna lie.
I yeah,
That's why I'm
people
saying he's on the cusp. That's why I'm saying he's on the cusp, man.
no, he is. Look, if somehow Canelo does what he does and David does what he does, I would love a Munguia Benavides fight.
Fuck,
That's a banger.
I would love
That's
it
that's
too, bro. And I got Munguia
dude.
beating the shit out of motherfucker, bro. I
That's
said that before
300
he fought Canelo, bro.
to me. That's 400,000 pay-per-views. Munguia versus Benavides.
Yeah, man.
That
Yeah, he
that's
ain't gonna
that's
fight him, bro.
definitely a pay-per-view fight, huh?
He ain't gonna fight him.
You don't think Benavides would fight Munguia?
Nah, not as if there's a prospect of a Canelo fight happening. No,
Oh, okay. I see what you're saying. I'm gonna take the opposite. I think Benavides would take Munguia, thinking that he would smash Munguia, and it would be good for his metrics, and he could make some good money on a pay-per-view side.
I mean shit. They should have fucking that fight should have been signed, bro. Like as soon as he fucking beat whoever that fucking he wanted to beat over there at light heavyweight, man, that should have been the next fucking fight, bro.
Yeah. So that's the thing,
Devin
man.
Benavidez don't fight nobody.
Well, Benavides, I mean, dude, I would be so disappointed if he ends up taking the rest of the year off because I guess he claimed he hurt his hand and
Mhm.
he was supposed to have surgery, but he didn't just so he could save the fight. So, he's done this before where he only fought one time. I don't know if it was 22 or 23, but he's very inconsistent in his career. So, yeah, I mean, at least Munguia has a fight. He's fighting Bazinian, some Canadian
Yeah,
guy.
yeah, yeah. I know who you're talking about. Eric Bazanian or something like that.
That's on the calendar.
Or
It's
a
on the
Munguia and
calendar.
Billy fight would be fucking the shit, bro. Too, man.
Well, yeah, and Billy's fighting Derevyanchenko.
Lomachenko, yeah. If they
So,
both
uh,
win, that'd be a great fight to set up. And I'm not gonna lie, bro. I would love Canelo versus and Billy too, bro.
Canelo and Billy,
Yeah,
I talked
I think
about that
that
to somebody
fight would
else,
be
and
great. I think it would be
people
great,
think
man.
I was talking to a fellow boxing channel person. They said that Billy, they think that Billy would be the king of 168 if there was no Canelo and not David Benavidez. They think Billy beats David Benavidez.
I could see David. I could see it's an interesting fight. I would favor David in that
Really?
fight just because he's bigger and and Billy's like defensive flaws.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, that's an interesting fight.
Ah,
But unfortunately, like the fights that should happen, like contender
well,
versus contender,
that's
ain't
yes,
never gonna happen.
exactly. Exactly. And that's just like Tank Davis and Shakur Stevenson. That's the fight is logical. They're both pound for pound, young. Shakir's a free agent. Tank doesn't have a fight. Should that fight happen? Yes.
Yeah.
Should Billy fight David? Yes.
Hmm.
Should Tio fight Pitbull? Yes.
Hmm.
Are we gonna get him? Probably not. Crawford and is probably not gonna get. David and Canelo probably not gonna get. So
I'm not even.
yeah, man.
I don't care
Go
about that
ahead.
Crawford Ennis, by the way. My bad.
You don't care about that?
Hell no, bro. Come on, Boots hasn't fought nobody. Like not even like fucking like, bro. It's a fucking. It's like fucking. Yeah, it's a cherry pick.
Wow, you're the first person I heard say that. I respect your contrarian opinion.
I mean, like, who has Boots
No,
beaten?
no.
Though? This
Let
is
me
the
be
king,
honest.
though. He
I've
hasn't
heard,
beaten
I've
nobody.
heard that before. No, I've heard it before.
You know,
You're not wrong. You're not wrong.
Virgil and
Uh,
Crawford, okay. And Virgil's been calling that
Well,
motherfucker's name for a quick minute. And the good thing is that if Virgil ends up beating Bohachuk, whoever, undisputed goes through him. So we actually might get that fight.
I was just thinking that too. I'm gonna have to wrap it up. My phone is on the red. It's about to die, but I'm gonna wrap it up with this. That's what I was thinking because Crawford could. Oscar's smart. To me, I like Oscar. I don't know if you guys like Oscar, but
Nah,
I think there's a
fuck that
reason
shit.
he put Virgil on the week after Crawford. He's trying to line that up. Like it's Crawford on pay per view, and then the following week Virgil Ortiz. You know, probably a Crawford replay, and then Virgil Ortiz. I remember that's how HBO used to do it. I don't know if you remember. They'd do the pay per view and then the replay the next week, with the fight.
I mean, that's how they're
So
setting it up, to be honest, because they're gifting an extra belt to Crawford if he beats Bandramov, so he'll be unified if he beats him. And then Virgil beats this one dude, and then the other belt is held by
Indora.
Fundora. So I mean, like, yeah.
But
I mean,
he's
like,
gonna
yeah, it seems pretty close.
maybe in December Crawford and Virgil Ortiz, which if that happened, that would make my year. That would probably be kind of save the year, with the Ryan fiasco and Tank and Loma falling through. And if we don't get Canelo Benavidez, we don't get Ennis and Crawford. I think Virgil Ortiz, well, he has to get through this guy. This guy's tough, man. Is he Ukrainian? Is
Oh yeah, the
Bohachuk?
Bohachuk guy. Yeah, I know.
He's tough, man.
He's tough. He's a tough motherfucker. I remember. Shit, this guy Bohachuk, they had him on the back burner. He ended up, and the thing was, it's like it was right before COVID hit. He ended up fighting this one guy named Brandon Adams, which I wonder what the fuck happened to Brandon Adams, because Brandon Adams knocked him out.
Oh
And then,
shit.
yeah, and then they both got held to the back burner, especially since Jermel was going on his run for undisputed. But yeah, it's a tough motherfucker, man. So yeah, it's no walk in the park, man. It's gonna be.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say it's 50-50, brother.
It's 50. I'm not mad at that because I mean Virgil's fought two rounds in 1 year coming off the injury, because he was supposed to fight Stan Jonas. So, here you got Ennis fighting Avanesian, and then we don't know what he's gonna do. He's gonna stay and fight who knows, man. Now Virgil's taking on killers, man. First it was Stan Jonas that fell through, now it's Bohachuk. But yeah, man, he's gonna be the roadblock if Crawford intends to get undisputed. It's gonna be Virgil if he's successful, standing right there. Now that is a pay-per-view I'll buy. I'll buy
And don't
that because
sleep
they're giving me.
on Errol and Fundura, bro.
Don't sleep on that. You said.
Yeah, because I think Errol's got a shot, bro. Because Fundura's green, bro, and Errol's
Does
been
he
there.
have a chance?
I think he has a
Earl,
chance. I think he has a chance, but I don't know.
God.
I don't know. We would have to see how Earl looks in that fucking weight division. Another weight division is not the weight division.
just basing it off of what I see, like just what I seen a year ago, and seeing and just his lifestyle outside the ring. He ballooned. He looks fat.
That's
I
true.
think he was. I don't know if he was on painkillers. This is allegedly. There was a video of him like slurring with some girl. The way
I've seen that shit. I've seen that shit a while. Fuck you, technique.
the way he just his lifestyle is just like I can't favor him. I hear what you're saying.
I'm not
you're
saying
not
I'm favoring
wrong,
him either. I'm not saying I'm favoring him either.
but you're saying he's gonna be competitive.
Yeah, I mean, like the only
You
guy
say
that
don't sleep on him. Don't sleep on him.
his ass
Okay.
was Crawford. That's Crawford.
Yeah, could he go beat Fedora because Fedora is a weak link? I mean, let's be honest. Fedora got slept by Mendoza, and Fedora was lucky that Tim Tszyu ran into his elbow because he was losing that fight.
Fundura was fucking up Mendoza until he got knocked out, though.
He was, but I mean, shit, that was like knockout of the year, I think.
Yeah, no, it was a beautiful knockout. Yeah,
he was like a turtle on
Me and my
his
homie
back.
Shelton called that shit too because we saw him fight. What's his name? Some Mexican dude in Carson over here where I stay at, or my dad's house is at. But yeah, me and my buddy Shelton, we called it. Like, watch Fundura. He doesn't move his head. He's gonna get knocked out when he stays in. There you go.
But the thing about Fedora, he's 6'5" with like razor blades for elbows, And
Yeah.
I thought Tim Zoo was gonna wipe the floor with them, but he gave Tim Zoo all he could handle. So
Fucker's like a
yeah,
praying
that's
mantis with his fucking limbs and shit.
yeah, and he won that fight against Tim Zoo with the
Yeah, he
jab.
won it. Yeah, he won it. Yeah.
He actually established a jab and decided to box rather than slug it out.
Yeah. 'Cause
Was
Tim
Tim
was
Zoo
still putting in
handicapped?
work. Tim was still putting in work.
Oh yeah, he was handicapped. I mean,
Yeah, yeah. Of
dude,
course.
there's like a fucking vagina on his head. Like it was just gashing. It was disgusting. That was
Yeah,
like,
it was crazy.
I mean, that's one of the most brutal bloodbath fights you'll see. And that was like what in the beginning of the year. I think it
Yep.
was PBC's first event in March.
Yeah, yeah. No, facts. It was supposed to be Keith Thurman.
Yeah. And Tim Zoo's rumored to come back against Lubin. I think he should sleep Lubin.
Yeah, I think
Um,
as well.
but we don't know. I mean, you don't know what effects it had. That was the type of fight to take years off your life, man. Not just your boxing career, but it was brutal. A lot of guys don't come back from that.
Yeah, and it could be a reoccurring cut. Like I haven't seen fighters like back in the days where like scar tissue and fucking that cuts open and open and open.
Oh yeah, like
He's a
Arturo
young-
Gotti was like, yeah,
Arturo
was
Gotti,
notorious.
Israel Vasquez, Chavez at the end of
Uh-huh.
his career, amongst other fighters. But yeah, man, it was gruesome, bro. And Lubin's
Yeah.
got pop. Lubin's got pop, so you never know.
Lubin, he fights. He's not a back bitch. He comes to fight. I thought Jesus Ramos was robbed.
Yeah, yeah.
Lubin lost
And
that fight.
he back foot bitch that fight. I tell you what.
Well, he did. He did that. But I've seen him slug it out. Well, that's who Fedor slept, right? Fedor slept Lubin.
Oh, Neuro slept Lubin, correct.
So
Made him looking like the Elephant Man, bro.
I mean, and we don't even know if Spence. It could all be fool's gold. Like they're just teasing us, and then they plan to sneak someone else in there to get the belt from Fundora. It's PBC shenanigans. PBC moves notorious. I think they wanted Tim Zoo out of the way. They wanted to get Spence a belt. I said this earlier. I think we were there too as Shadow Ghost. So before the fight happened, because Keith Thurman was the original opponent, and he pulled out. They threw Fundora in. Tim Zoo. He should have pulled out of the fight originally, but he's a warrior. He went through with it, and then when he got the cut, they should have stopped the fight, and he kept going. So, but he's coming back. But all right, man. I think I got like 3%. So, any last quips and notes? Don't be a stranger, man. Thank you for coming. I appreciate it.
Don't trip, man. Anytime. Thanks for having me on. Fuck you, Technique. Go give me some Lucky Charms. I'm just playing. No. Me and Technique, we go back and forth on. But he's cool.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. But thanks. Like I was saying, and peace.
Yeah, man. Hit the like, guys. Salute Solo Dolo. Salute Pounds. Who else? We got Sergeant, Quentin. Thank you, everybody. J.A. Appreciate it. Yeah, man. The news and notes of the day, the week. Ryan crying Ryan. I don't know if he's in rehab. Lomachenko and Stink. That's kaput. Crawford, Madrimov. I don't know. Maybe Madrimov sleeps him. That would be very interesting. It would shock the boxing world. And last but not least, our favorite son, Canelo Alvarez. Is it Berlanga, Eubanks? Buell, he thinks Benavidez is still in the hunt, man. So right now, boxing kind of slow. Lot to be desired. But, it'll shake it up. Is Crawford getting slept? Rayo, and look for Pitbull to steal the show. Andy Ruiz, coming back. So, it's not all bad, guys. Virgil and Bokachuk is going to steal the year's show. That guy, Silva, Bad Baby slept him. So, Jake Paul entertaining. Does he fight Mike Tyson? Yeah, man. Well, I want to thank everybody. Appreciate it. And just leave you with some funnies, man. Thank you. Hit the like, subscribe, share, and join me next time, man. Not sure. We'll see if anything interesting happens. Canelo news, maybe Crawford, Madrimov, Pitbull, Rayo. Yeah, man, it's always fun. Thank you. And I'll see you on the next one.
Alright, Jesus, Yes, Spinnaker, man, to moderate damage.
Hijo de la madre, Lalo le va.
Don't laugh! This ain't reality!